Welcome to my YouTube live on this Saturday, the 5th of April. It's just 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm a bit later than I normally do this, but this is what my schedule allowed me today, so here we go. Hopefully that will not affect too much the flow of everything. Okay, so let me put the volume up. Can you hear me? Is everyone online already? I see one person. Hello. Let's get started. For those who don't know me yet and are catching this on replay, I'm a therapist and coach, and I come on YouTube live once a week and once or twice actually on TikTok to give some advice, to some recommendations, some suggestions to anyone who is struggling with mental health, with any aspect of their life. And basically, yep, that's it. Yep. My mind is a bit frozen. I spent some time in the sun today, chilling, and so I need to come back to that place of communicating with people. But essentially, I'm here to talk about mental health and therapy, mindset, mindfulness, human behavior, human psychology, spirituality, any way we can enhance any aspect of our life from those places. So let's see. I have a comment already. Just bear with me, please. Lynn, hi Didi. Hearing you much better today. Hope you are having a great weekend. Yes, I had it was my birthday yesterday, so I just turned 55. And yes, I'm still digesting this. It's not really much an important thing to me, but still, yep. I believe that every birthday I have to kind of remind you that we can look back at a whole year and see where the progress has been in an aspect of our life. Okay, let me get started by reading some of the posts that I put out on TikTok today as a starter. And hopefully by the time I finished it, I will have some interactions with you guys. The first post that I put out goes like this. The people who looked after you were so busy teaching you how to be tough that they never had a chance to teach you how to feel safe or how to feel loved. So this is all the problem with emotional repression, with men, toxic masculinity, and how we're still being taught that we must be strong and tough and brave by controlling our emotions. And we forget that we cannot control our emotions. When we try to control our emotions, all that we end up doing is to repress them, push them away, ignore them, shut them down. And as a result of this, we suffer from it. Right? People who need to be tough, they need to be tough because they don't feel safe. And also, as a result of that, as they're creating a wall between them and other people, they can't have a connection and they don't feel loved either. One of the aspects of emotions that people don't realize is that from an evolutionary perspective, emotions exist for us to communicate with others. And so if I feel sad, I will look sad, and that will send the signal out there from the people of my tribe that I'm not feeling safe, that I'm feeling down, that I need some comfort. Right? If I feel fear, I'm not feeling safe. And so if we repress those emotions and we don't show how we feel, we're disconnecting with a huge element of communication with the other people in our tribe. The second post that I put out goes like this. Fear gets you to focus on what is the most important thing in the moment. It is a very useful and powerful emotion. The moment you think about fear, however, it becomes a hindrance as it triggers all of your old fear-based belief. And so here I'm making the difference between the emotion of fear and the use of it, the real meaning of why fear exists in our life and why we suffer from it. And so when we have fear, we are zooming, focusing on what is important right here and now. So it's actually very useful. When we start to suffer from it, however, when we start to think about the fear, and now as we think about the emotion of fear that we're experiencing in our body, now all of our old fear-based beliefs are coming back, and what we suffer from is not the fear itself, it's from the belief that are now going to hold on that fear and create anxiety. So something that not many people know, maybe you may find this useful. And finally, the third post that I put out today on TikTok goes like this. Tradition is the narrative used to perpetuate patriarchy, capitalism, and organized religion. It is also one of the narcissist and sociopath favorite tool to manipulate, control, gaslight, and abuse others. So here I'm talking about how traditions is typically something that, from my eyes, has been created from sociopath and a narcissist to manipulate people. And you can see it with religion, but you can also see it with capitalism. You can see it with patriarchy. You can see it with the very structure of society as we know it. So there you go. I'm going to now read the comment, and hopefully there's some things that I can maybe help you with. Boba, hello Didi, do you hold sessions online? Yes, not on the YouTube live, but on one-to-one. I am a therapist and I do offer my services online, absolutely. I work only on Zoom now. It's very rare when I make an exception, but yeah. Online therapy is what people from my profession are all doing now. So if you're interested about this, by any means, you can find the link to my website on any of my video, not on the profile of YouTube. For some reason, I don't know why it works. It doesn't work. But if you go on any video, including that one, there's a collection of handles, and you will see a link to my website. All you've got to do is to copy and paste it. It doesn't take it directly. I'm still learning about how to do these things, but the link of my website doesn't take to the website directly for some reason. And so just copy and paste, and we can organize a discovery call from the website. You can send me an email from there. Thank you for inquiry. Lynn, happy birthday. It doesn't hurt. I turned 58 last month, lol. Happy birthday to you, Lynn, as well. Cipher solutions. Doing something with courage is doing something that scares you, is the true definition. So let's talk about this. Let me try to understand. Doing something with courage is doing something that scares you, is the true definition. Yes? Where does that come from? I'm not sure. I think it's connected to one of the things that I read, but I don't see, because I see big capital letters. Is it an emotional reaction? Did I say something that triggered you? Or are you just trying to express something very loudly? Being courageous is doing something that scares us. Yes, I agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. F, how to don't get noticed from toxic people so they not become interested in you. Okay. So this is a very interesting question. Let's talk about this. The reason why we get toxic people in our life is not because they notice us. Actually, yes. Essentially, we emanate an energy through our body language, or behavior, or facial expressions, the things that we say, and basically, we don't realize that whenever we are just out there, we're sending signals everywhere to everyone. And so some people will notice those signals more than others. And we're going to attract some people, some type of people, more than others, depending on the signals that we send. And so the signals that we send are all to do with how we perceive ourselves. If I believe that I am a certain type of person, I'm going to behave like that sort of person that I believe I am. And as I do so, I'm going to send all the signals that are going to attract some people who are interested to connect with people who are like me, for all sorts of reasons. For either nefarious or nice reasons, it depends. But essentially, if you don't want to get noticed by toxic people, the best thing to do is to change who you are. Change how you see yourself. Change how you feel about yourself. Change your behavior. Change how you understand the world, what your place in the world is, and all of those things, right? It's not about putting an invisible cloak and hoping that only the nice people will see us. It's really realizing that the reality that you experience is the reflection of you and how you feel and what you believe and what you think, and everything that is happening inside is projected outside. And so do you want to explore this more? Is there any reason why you're asking this? How to get noticed from? But if you say how to not get noticed from toxic people, it tells me that you have some element of fear Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Are you scared? Are you worried? Are you thinking about this a lot? Is it something that is always on your mind? Do you attract a lot of toxic people? If so, tell me about this more, please, so that I can explore maybe your case more specifically. Sulfur solutions, emphasis type thing. Okay. Why do people gang stalk and blackball from rest of group? I don't know what is gang stalk and I don't know what is blackball. I'm learning something new today. Let me Google this. Okay, what is gang stalk? Gang stalking or group stalking is a set of persecutory belief in which those affected believe they are being followed, stalked, and harassed by a large number of people. So why do people gang stalk? And so why do people stalk in mass and blackball? Blackballing, the act of using a negative vote or other means to exclude someone from membership, participation, or social group. I don't understand the context of what you're asking, but I can try to come up with something. So why do people gang stalk? I don't understand really. From that definition that I have, it's a set of persecutory belief. So it doesn't mean that it's something that is happening. It's something that someone believes is happening. And so if that's what you mean, just based on that definition, people who believe that they're always stalked by others, it could be also a reason. There are all sorts of different mental health conditions that would get people to have all sorts of belief that may be overwhelming, and you could have some type of anxiety, some type of OCD. You can have some level of schizophrenia. I'm not sure. There's so many ways to look at it. I would need to know more about you in order to answer that. But what is the second thing? Blackballing. Using a negative vote or others means to exclude someone from membership. This is a very simple dynamic of groups. Different groups have a different system to filter who they want to stay in and keep out, I assume. So unless you, let me see, I think there's another comment here. I get excluded a lot from groups and voted out for upsetting one individual is essentially what I'm trying to ask. All right, okay. So you are often rejected and you're often, how do you say, outcasted? Maybe there's all sort of reasons. Maybe, well, the main reason is that there's a difference between you and them. Right? Now the difference, I don't know what it is. Sometime it could be a little bit of everything. Something to do with you, with your energy, with how you behave, and it can be also something to do with them, as in just the way they judge you and they interpret what they see from you. And on the top of that, it's just that it's the way it is. We must accept that we sometimes get along with some people and sometimes we don't get along with other people. And what we need to do is to find the right people. Right? I don't believe that you're going to be rejected from everywhere, everyone, all the time, forever. I believe that there are some people who can absolutely get you and understand you, unless you have some very, very, very problematic mental health conditions that are getting you to be antisocial, to be problematic to people to react, to be behaving in ways that are frowned upon by society. So I, for instance, one of the conditions that I used to suffer from is borderline personality disorder. And because of that, I used to be very, very difficult to be integrated in any groups. I tried to join them and they all always rejected me. And I realized that it was not because the world is full of bad people or I'm so unlucky that no one loves me. It's because my behavior was affecting people and it's the normal response as far as they were concerned with a sort of behavior. And so I worked on myself and I realized that I don't want to even be part of those groups anymore because I realized that we're too different. And so I'm working on myself. I have changed many of my filters so that I don't react emotionally and I don't behave in toxic ways like I used to do, but also accept that we're all different and there are some people who can get me. and some who will never get me, and it's okay. I don't need to belong to those places. I don't need to go there. And so there are also different angles to look at it from. But does that make sense to you? Lone wolf behavior. Yes, so this is it. So this is something that is quite telling, because you are saying lone wolf behavior. So you are telling us how you feel about yourself. Lone wolf behavior. So this is how you essentially see yourself. And so if you see yourself like a lone wolf, your behavior and the way that you normally interact and communicate with people will be one of a lone wolf. So if you're a lone wolf, it's not going to work with groups, right? Groups, they like people who can integrate in their little society. They want citizens, they don't want members, they want people who can easily adapt without having to need much effort. But if you're a lone wolf, maybe this is what you want to change if you want to integrate with more people. But again, you don't have to. Maybe you just want to find a handful of people with whom you function, and that'll be enough as well. We're all different. Does that help at all? Someone with some letters. Oh, Raz. I'm going to call you Raz. Do you FW green beans? I don't understand. What does that mean? FW. Do you forward green beans? I don't understand. Sorry. You want to expand? F. I do attract a lot of toxic people, stalker, etc. 3 times, and a lot of people who have ego problems. All those people clash with me immediately, and I don't really have a clue what is going on. Okay, so essentially what happens is that when we had a difficult childhood, when you had a difficult childhood, we have created a sense of personality that is going to be slightly different than those who had an easy childhood. And so basically, if I didn't get love from my parents, for instance, if I didn't get the support and the attention that I needed from them, if I didn't feel safe, or if they hurt me in any which way, I'm going to develop a sense of self, a sense of identity that will remind me of this. This is who I am. This is the sort of person that I am. And so, because when we are a child, we cannot, we cannot, if our parents hurt us in any way, we cannot blame them. We will only blame ourselves, because we need our parents for survival. And so there's a part of us that cannot, we just cannot reject them. We're too small, we're too little, we're too dependent on them. And so, well, instead of hating them, we hate ourselves, or instead of blaming them, we're going to blame ourselves. And so, in the end, we're going to create that sense of self that is going to be like this. This is who I am. What do I deserve? I deserve that. I deserve those sort of people. I deserve people who hurt me, who take advantage of me, who never listen to me, who don't care about my feelings, and so forth and so on. And as we grow up, we keep that sense of self in our subconscious, and we're going to experience life from that perspective. And as we experience life from that perspective, we're going to generate those signals, send all of those messages out there through our, again, body language, behavior, actions, words. And that is going to essentially attract some people who need people like us to confirm their own narrative. So basically, we attract the people who fit our narrative, and that goes for everyone. And so we're going to attract people who, if we see ourselves like a prey, for instance, we're going to attract predators. And as we are seeing ourselves like a prey, we're going to send some signals out there that are going to attract, that are going to get all the predators around to think, here's a prey for me. I need a prey in my story. I need a prey in my story. So now I'm going to go and invade that person's life and control them or hurt them in any which way. So that explains why we often end up, some of us, with a lot of toxic people. And it's not that we are not lucky. It's not that the world is full of bad people. The world has all sorts of people. Everyone is good or bad depending on the context, the circumstances, the situation. And so it's more about what sort of people, with what sort of energy that they have in this moment are you going to connect with, because of the energy that you have about yourself. And so the solution to this is to change your sense of identity. Change gradually. It's a process, so it's a skill that you need to learn. It's not something that you can do something like just like that, just because someone says it to you on the social media. You want to learn how to basically address how you see yourself, and no longer see yourself like a prey or like someone who doesn't deserve love, or someone who only deserves love, but a love that has condition, a love that comes with pain, with sacrifice, with hurt. So yeah, does it help? Does it make sense? F. Cipher, arigato. Okay, I'm not Japanese, but all right. I understand it means thank you in Japanese. Love, yashaya. This is deep. Okay. F, interesting. Thanks. I am not seeing myself as a prey at all. I am the total opposite. I guess those people reflect just my twisted family then. If you don't see yourself, okay, the way we see ourselves is not conscious. It's emotional. It's subconscious. So it's how we feel about ourselves. So sometimes, so you may think, I'm a warrior. I'm a survivor. I'm in charge. But then maybe here at an emotional level, you still believe that people, so maybe you don't see yourself as a prey, but maybe you believe that people that you can trust is not available to you. Maybe you believe that people who can love you unconditionally is not available to you. Maybe you believe that being with people with whom you connect naturally and feel safe with is not available to you. So it can be all sort of different beliefs. The prey and predator was just an example, right? But essentially, when we attract always the same sort of people, is because at an emotional, subconscious level, this is what we feel is normal to us. This is what we feel is familiar to us. We're attracted to what feels familiar. And so how we think about ourselves is one thing. But if we always attract the same people, no matter what we think about ourselves, it's because we feel at an emotional level that this is what we had, what we deserve, and what we will keep on having the rest of our life. I hope it makes sense. And if I'm wrong, correct me and we can pursue that conversation as well, of course. I don't know everything. I just base my answers on few words that I shared here. JC, where are them hers at? I don't know what it means, but if you're asking what the life is about, I'm a therapist and coach, and I talk about anything to do with mental health, therapy, human behavior, human psychology, relationships, and how we can enhance any aspect of our life from those places. Just tip, is that a picture of your parents in the back? Yes, it is. Thank you so much for noticing. It's my mom and my dad, indeed, when we got married a long time ago. Love, Yashaha. It does make sense. Helps a lot. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Trouble, what is an RC therapist? You mean RTT? RTT, I mean, yes. RTT stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy. It's a protocol that was created by Marisa Peer, and it's a blend of hypnosis, regression, and belief reframing at a subconscious level. And so this is what I use with my clients within my practice. I'm putting as a title that I'm an RTT therapist mainly because in the UK, if I say that I'm a therapist, it's actually fine. But in America, you can only be a therapist if you have certain type of qualifications, which I haven't. So just to clarify this, I'm basically stipulating what I am officially. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and an RTT therapist. But if you want to know more about the RTT protocol itself, just ask me what you would like to address, and I can explain to you how I would use RTT in regards to that specific case. Love, Yashaha. I notice when I'm thinking and focusing on happy thoughts, people always smile at me. Okay, fantastic. Yes, very true. Come up to me and talk to me. Yes. When I'm feeling negative, I notice people distance themselves, or grumpy people come near. Yes, this is the thing. It's an energetic thing. Whatever that we think is going to be translated in our body in the language of emotions, feelings, and sensations. So we're going to feel what we think. And then next, as we feel what we think, we're going to behave in ways, we're going to send some energy, some radiations out there that people are going to pick up on. And very often, you're going to either attract people who are on the same frequency as you, or people who need someone like you to fit their narrative. Right? And so, yes, when we are, let's say, angry, suddenly through the day we're going to meet a lot of people who are angry. We may end up into a brawl, into a fight, into some clash with people out of nowhere. because we attract each other like that. But if we are zen and happy and balanced, and we are lucky enough to not have any worries, then not only are we going to experience a much better day, but also we're going to notice and see and connect with everyone else who are in those similar states. It's not just the messages that we send out there, but it's also that our mind is going to help us notice whatever is aligned with our state. The mind is biased, and your mind is programmed to give you what it thinks you want it to give you. And so if you are angry and grumpy, your mind is going to think, what does he want? He's angry. He wants to have more anger. He wants to have people to get him to feel more anger. So now the mind is going to seek reasons to be angry about. If you are sad, your mind is going to think, why is he sad? Maybe he wants to have more sadness. He wants to have more reasons. So we're going to look out for all the reasons as to why he would be miserable. We're going to highlight this so he can really see it and feel it, because that's what he wants, and so forth and so on. Whatever what we want, whatever that we feel is going to send a message to our subconscious mind, and our mind is going to give us more of this by filtering anything that doesn't fit that brief. I hope it makes sense. But good on you, love Yasha. It's a very good level of awareness, and it's very true indeed. Jasdeep, beautiful couple. Thank you, Jasdeep. F, it resonates. Thanks. One more question. Don't really ask me as many as you wish. One more question, if you don't mind. How to heal that? My question above. So let's go back to F. The question above was... So basically, change. How do we stop attracting toxic people? By changing the way you see yourself. So whatever that you believe is familiar to you, so it depends. I'm a professional. I'm a mental health professional. So I would always recommend professional help. But we can do some personal development in our work. So you want to find out, you want to understand more about yourselves. It's a process. But you want to learn how to, through meditation, through learning about psychology, by reading books, or following lives like this one, asking the right questions to the right people. You want to understand more why you have certain belief, why you have certain idea about you and yours in this world, and whether they are positive or not to you, as in useful. Do they serve you? Do your belief serve you? Because there's one thing that is probably the most important thing that we should know about anything at all, is that there's no such thing as one true fixed reality. There's only the reality that we experience in this moment, the reality that we create for ourselves in this moment, based on the belief, the filters, the lenses that we have put into place when we were a child. And so what it means is that you can change any aspect of your life. There's nothing about your reality that you cannot change by changing some of your inner filters. Right? So in your case, it depends. We need to know which are your beliefs that are holding you back, that you want to address, and then we can address them one by one. You want to realize that the belief that we have are just belief. And so what it means is that you can change the belief that doesn't serve you by replacing it with a better belief that is now going to empower you and lift you up and get you to focus on what you want to focus on instead. I hope it makes sense. Do ask me more, but for me to help you out, I need you to give me more details about you so that I can understand you better. JC, where are you from? I was born in Paris, France, a long time ago. My genetics are from China, from Hong Kong, and I've been living in London, in the UK, for 27, going on 28 years now. So there you go. Lynn, so true, Didi. I had no self-worth most of my life, and I always attracted toxic people, especially in relationships. Teaching yourself self-love improves the quality of people in your life. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's about learning to accept that we deserve better than that. It's also giving us a chance to see the people who are there, who are kind to us, because when we believe that we don't deserve nice people in our life, the nice people that are there, we're going to push them away. We're going to ignore them. We're going to Not like we're not going to feel attracted or excited by those sort of people, because our mind is very clever and wants us to keep being attracted to what feels familiar. And so we're going to be probably even excited to be with people who are hurting us and harming us. We're going to find them very interesting, very attractive for whatever reason. And that's because our mind wants us to fall for a trap and end up with the same sort of people that we have always had. So yes, it's a whole process, but in a nutshell, it is that we don't want to learn how to love ourselves, how to accept that we deserve better, that we can have everything that we want. There's nothing in this world that any one of us cannot have. If it wasn't for the only one problem, that we believe that that thing that we want is not available to us. That's it. If we can understand that everything is available to us, then we can go on to that journey, that process to learn how to change that belief. And eventually, we will stop being in our own way. The reason why we don't have certain things in our life, whatever it may be, it can be health, it can be success and money, it can be love, it can be purpose, whatever that we want, that we haven't got, it's only because we believe that that thing that I want is not available to me. So now we're going to create some self-sabotage system. We're going to prevent us to get too close to that thing. Because if I believe that something is not available to me, even something like happiness, if I believe that happiness is not available to me because I never had it in childhood, then it's a part of me that is going to protect me from happiness. If I don't know what happiness is, it may actually be dangerous to me, and so I need to protect myself from it. And that's why some of us, when we have been suffering from a lot of unhappiness for a long time, we self-sabotage when good things are coming to us, because we believe that it's not going to last. It's a fluke. It's a mistake. Those things never happen to me. And so if I accept love or happiness in any which way, I need to get rid of it before I lose it and I get disappointed, before I get hurt if I get attached to it, because I don't believe that I deserve it. Love Yashaha. I have never done therapy, but if I ever did, I'd pick this guy. Okay, this guy, thank you so much. Love Yashaha. Makes very much sense. Thank you so much. Richie B. Hi Didi, I have recently begun therapy. I've been in recovery for over 2 years. I'm really struggling to put a name on certain feelings. I don't know if it's guilt, shame, or loss. Any advice? So it's a lot of questions. So I'm not sure what I'm going to answer to first. But what I'd say first is congratulations for working on yourself, and keep going, keep doing, keep learning, keep growing. It's a whole journey, and it's important. I'm struggling to put a name on certain feelings. Okay, so we can explain how we would define feelings conventionally. So guilt is the feeling that you have done something wrong, or maybe you didn't do something that you should have done. It's about the actions. Shame is about you. It's you feeling bad because of who you believe you are. And so guilt is, I'm feeling bad because of what I've done. Shame is, I'm feeling bad because I am bad. I'm wrong. I am inferior. There's something wrong and broken and rotten about me. That's the difference. Shame is very, very, very prevalent in society, sadly, because the way it's designed. And we want to really work on getting rid of it. Shame is an illusion that was invented a long time ago by religious narcissists who wanted to control people, so they had to come up with something. So shame, this is it. And now, even if you're not religious, if you live in a Western-based society, we all believe that because it's everywhere. And it really is a poison. You want to get rid of it. But the difference between guilt and shame is that guilt is about what we do or don't do. Shame is about who we are. And then you talk about loss. The feeling of loss is a feeling of grief. So it's a whole different feeling when you miss something or someone, and you have that element of helplessness. It's gone, and I can never have it again, ever. Then it's the feeling of loss. Right? I hope it makes sense. It's just about learning more about maybe the definition of what it means within the context of psychology. Because again, words can mean slightly different things to all sort of people within different contexts. And so, yes. Does it help, Richie? Sanko. Hello, may I ask how can someone solve internet addiction? Okay, so there's a lot of reasons as to why you may have an internet addiction. Um, so the problem is not the internet. The problem is your propensity to be addicted to internet. When we get addicted, and addiction is one of my strong specialisms. I've been addicted to many things in the past for 38 years of my life, and now I'm all good. But really, we look in the wrong place when we look at the thing. Addiction is an inability. It is an inability to stop doing something that we know is not good for us to that level of amplitude, right? It's because we're doing too much of something and we want to stop. We have tried to stop, but we just cannot stop. And so internet is one of those things. But if you look at all the types of addictions, on one hand, you have the classic type of addiction that we know about: drugs, alcohol, gambling, and but on the other side, you have also all the other stuff which are just as addictive, maybe not as damaging, but they are just as addictive, and we can be addicted indeed to internet. We can be addicted to shopping. We can be addicted to working, going to the gym. We can be addicted to drama, overthinking, gossips. We can be addicted to all sorts of things. And so it's never the thing. It's our propensity to the addiction. Because to utilize those examples that I've given, we all shop in some capacity, but not everyone is addicted to shopping. We all work in some capacity. Not everyone is addicted to working or gymming, for instance. And conversely, some people try drugs or alcohol or gambling and they don't get addicted. They try this as an experience and they're like, okay, that's interesting, let's move on, and that's it. But some people, they try it and then straight away they're hooked and they can never come out of it. So what is the difference? It's our propensity to need an addiction, right? And also a big one that I didn't mention is food. It's a huge one. And so what do? We want to find out why we have a propensity to get addicted. What is the belief? What is the connection between us and that thing? And very often we'll find out that the reason why we have a propensity is because we live in a state of stress, of distress, of discomfort, of overwhelm of any sort. And so basically, we suffer from depression or anxiety, or from a condition. We may have ADHD, and because of all depression and anxiety, is going to exacerbate our need to have something to regulate our nervous system. And it goes the same with borderline personality disorder. Those are conditions that are very connected to addiction. And basically, what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to addiction, we want to look at the root cause of the problem. We get addicted to things because there is something wrong. And so the addiction was never a problem for us in the first place. The addiction was a solution to feel better. It was a coping mechanism. It was a stress regulator. It was a system we put into place to make it through another day without feeling that feeling. And so when people look at internet addiction, for instance, or PORN, or whatever that it is, we want to find out why we need that to feel better about ourselves. Otherwise, we're just looking at the smoke instead of looking at the fire. So in regards to you, we need to know more about you because, I don't know you. And again, it could be all sort of reasons. Maybe, but there is something that stems from your belief system from when you're younger, but is connecting you to that sort of things, like internet or the things that you may be addicted to. I hope it makes sense. And I'm happy to tell you more about this if you ask me more. If you tell me more about yourself. Sanko. Meli, ways to calm social anxiety. Okay. Again, social anxiety is a system that you have put into place to protect yourself from society. You have a belief that whenever you go out, people are looking at you and they're trying to find out they're trying to basically, they're going to point the finger at you at some point and tell everyone what is that secret that you have that you're ashamed of. Something like that. And so what you want to do is to change. It's a process. Again, there could be all sorts of reasons as to why we have social anxiety that can be connected to all sorts of other things. But generally speaking, the social anxiety comes from a type of belief that is to do with there's something wrong about me and I'm going to be found out. So I did think about that question sometime this week. I forgot. I created a solution that was actually quite cool for most people, but it's out of my mind now. So it was a general kind of hack, if you want. But because I don't have it now, if you tell me more about yourself, I can help you out. But then again, it's always down to the same thing. I need to have more details about you guys to give you some advice that would be more useful to you. But essentially, you want to change the narrative that you have in your head. Okay, there you go. Social anxiety. Wherever that you are, you have that voice in your head that is always telling you, they're watching you, be careful. There's something wrong about you. You look at yourself. You look ridiculous. The way that you walk, or they're going to judge you. They're going to reject you. Whatever it is, there's a voice in your head that is always telling you things that are making you feel more and more unsettled. And so you want to change the narrative. What could you tell yourself? Okay, I know. So that voice in your head is creating feelings in your body, and you're reacting to the feelings and the emotions, right? The voice is always there, but we suffer from things that we feel, not things that we think, right? And so when we talk about change your thought, it's to change how you feel, right? Yeah, a thought has got no power if you don't feel, if you don't believe it. And it's only when we believe it that we're going to feel something out of it. And so if the thought is telling you you're ridiculous, they're going to laugh at you, they're going to put you down, they're going to bully you, if you're being seen, it's going to be a problem, then you're going to feel something. And what I want you to realize is that that feeling that you have is created by that thought, but also it's not true. You can tell yourself, because my body is feeling like that, it doesn't mean that I am not enough. Because my body is feeling the way that I feel, it doesn't mean that they're going to hurt me. Remind yourself that, if you don't know this already, whatever that you feel is always a system that your body has put into place to protect you somehow. And so you can tell your body, thank you for protecting me. Maybe when I was young, I used to be bullied a lot. Maybe some bad things happened to me and that traumatized me, and I've never recovered from it. And so ever since from that moment, my body has been creating that system to protect me. And so whenever I'm outside, in society, in social setup, I'm feeling like that because my body wants to protect me. But it doesn't mean that I'm not enough. It doesn't mean that they're going to hurt me. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen again. So something that you can do is to tell yourself, because my body feels this way, doesn't mean that ... And then the next thing, you can tell yourself, thank you, body, for helping me and protecting me, but I don't need your help anymore. Now I'm a grown-up. Now I don't need to hold on to those old burden and baggage from the past. And gradually what you want to do is to learn how to look at life and the situation where you are in from a different perspective. You are no longer the person who was bullied. You're no longer the person who tripped and people laughed at you when you were on the floor. You're no longer whatever that you believe you are still in this moment. You are now someone who can learn how to lift your chest up and your chin up and change your body language and learn all those hacks that people teach to gradually hack yourself into confidence. And those things are absolutely possible to do. But you must first address that voice in your head, that narrative, and those feelings that you keep on feeling, right? Change the definition of the feelings and sensations that your thoughts are creating for you. That's it. What do you think about this? Do you believe that it makes sense with what you're going through? Melly? Love Yashaya. How to convince myself whatever I want I can have? How do I stop self-sabotage? So you can't convince yourself, is the thing. You have a program, but already believes that. You can't force an idea in. You can't force yourself, I deserve it, I believe it. What you can do is to let go of the belief that is opposite to that. So you want to stop believing that you don't deserve it. You want to stop believing that you don't have the capacity to do that. It's the opposite. You don't want to have something, force something in. You want to let go of a negative belief that you have about yourself. So now, it's very similar to your question anyways. The how is going to be through therapy. It's going to be through personal development, self-development. It's going to be through a lot of inner work. You want to do some reflection, you can meditate, you can learn about psychology. You want to go through your memories of the past and find out, why do I have those beliefs? Why do I believe that this is not available to me? And then realize, aha, this is because that happened to me then, but this was then. Now I'm a different person. Now I can have all of those things. Back then, when we were a child, we were at the mercy of our environment and our upbringing, so we didn't have a choice. And so we created that sense of self based on those experiences. But when we are emotional, when we are limited, this is the secret. We are, in that moment, the child again. So we're going to believe the same thing we used to believe then. We're going to feel the same way we felt then. And we're going to think the same sort of thought patterns that we always had. And so what we want to do is to find out why we may have those limiting beliefs. And then next, reassure and remind ourselves, okay, that was then. Now I am me. Now I've got resources. I've got wisdom. I've got experience, knowledge, intelligence, imagination that I didn't have then. And so now, can I have that thing? Yes, I can. All I've got to do is to find a system to make it happen just like for everyone else. So it's a process, but this is those are the big lines as to how it works. Okay? Does it help, love? Werewolf. I have a question about certain mental health issues linked to addiction. Okay, please do ask away. FLK Ocean, thank you for videos. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate them. Caroline. Oh, hello, Caroline. I've started to catch myself when I think thoughts of shameful self-talk. I say, no, don't start that to myself. It's a journey, small steps. Yes, well done. So the first step of healing is to realize that you are not your thought. You're not your feelings. You're not your personality. You're not your behavior. You're not your actions. You're not your past. You're nothing of such. You are the experiencer of all of those things. And what it means is that you can actually start to change when you realize that you are not the experience. You are the experiencer. Right? So basically what it means is that you can observe yourself and realize that, aha, I'm not having that. I am not the thought that I'm not enough. I am thinking that thought. I am not the feeling of shame that I'm feeling at that moment. I am feeling it. I am not that person that I believe that I am. I am acting like that person because I believe that I should, and so forth and so on. If we can create a space between us and everything that we experience by becoming the observer of ourselves, we start to be able to detach ourselves from those habitual associations that we have with everything that we experience in the moment. If I believe that I'm my thought, in that moment, I will be my thought. If I believe that I'm my emotion or my feeling, in that moment, I will be that emotion or that feeling. If I believe that I'm my personality or my past, I will. But if you can realize, I'm not angry. I'm feeling anger. I am not enough. I'm thinking that I'm not enough. Create a space between your own thoughts and your feelings and your emotions, and eventually it will be easier to change this. Because if you believe that this is what I am, who I am, then you can't change this, because this is you, right? But if you can look at yourself from the outside and think, okay, that person that I'm observing, myself, my ego, my human version of myself is going through all those things. So what do I want to change about it? And now we can actually have some free will and change the program gradually as we get better at doing this. Well done, Caroline. Richie B. Thanks, Didi. Yes, I'm kind of finding recovery difficult along with starting therapy. I suppose all the loss from my alcoholism has come back to haunt me. Thanks you. Okay, so basically change that idea. So if you are going through a process, you have a lot of things to do. The last thing you want to do is to add more pressure onto yourself. And so don't think about the loss, all the loss from my alcoholism. So I don't know what you mean by that, but I assume, and do correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume that what you mean is that maybe you have created a loss within your relationships, within your opportunities. Um, and so change the way you look at it. Let go of the shame and the guilt. Let go of the self-blame. Let go of all of any of those things, because this is going to add some tension, some stress, some pressure in your already heavy journey. And what I would say is appreciate that we are here on this planet to go through an adventure, and everything that you go through is a part of your story, and you were meant to live it. And it's what you were meant to do. I believe in destiny. I believe that we are meant to do what we are meant to do, and what was not meant to happen was never meant to happen. We suffer a lot because we think about what we want, and if it doesn't go away, we are unhappy. And if the things that we don't want to happen to us, or vice versa, we create so much suffering. Just accept that it was a lesson. Change the definition of it. It was an adventure for you to discover more about yourself. As you are getting better, as you heal, at some point it will all make sense. I was in your shoes for 38 years, so I really get it. When we suffer, we believe that we are living a curse and it's terrible, and we hate ourselves and the world and everything. But then when we heal, we can look back with hindsight and realize that actually it was a lesson in disguise, because now I have learned so much more about myself. Now I know so much more about that aspect of humanity, and I can even use it to help others, as it is my case. And so, yes, change the perception that you have of yourself. And my advice to you today would be for you to learn how to be kind to yourself. It's very important in your recovery journey, because the more guilt and shame and ill feelings that you have inside, the more difficult it's going to be for you to stay focused on going in that direction, which is healing and getting better. And that's why it's difficult when you say, I'm finding recovery difficulties, because you have so much extra unnecessary negative thoughts and feelings to deal with on the top of coming out of the addiction itself. Does it help, Richie? Caroline, thank you for your lives. Thank you for attending, for supporting me. It's appreciated, always. Senko, thanks a lot. Thank you, Senko. F, do you think people can influence others' energy? Yes, absolutely. I've experienced that many, many times. I can physically feel it, and I don't feel like myself anymore. Have you advised how to protect from it? Oh, not like that. When I say we can affect each other's energy, I'm not talking about sorcery or magic or superpower, right? Or Harry Potter kind of things. Not at all. When I talk about controlling people's energy, is through our interactions and how we can make people feel about themselves. That's it. Right? And so the way we feel is going to affect people, whether people are aware or not around us, and vice versa. The people who are around us are going to affect us as well. And so it's a tug of war between different type of energy. Some people are positive and happy. Some people are negative. Some people are aggressive and living in fear and hatred. And so you have all sorts of energy. And basically, the way we interact with one another, the way we behave, the way we talk to each other, the actions that we share in this world are going to create all sorts of things. And so some people are very good at understanding emotional intelligence and how to connect with people with their body language, right? And so those are the ones who, if they are, let's say, negative, may use some trick to manipulate you. So let's say, for instance, narcissists do that. They understand a lot about psychology, and they know how to pull people's emotional strings by the things that they do or don't do or say, or their facial expression within a particular moment, and any of those things. But it's also the same with people who are very, very at a different level of healing and happiness and balance. But some people, you can really feel, you feel good in their presence. You feel that they're listening to you, they're there for you. You can feel a different energy. And so we all affect each other because of the way we radiate normally, naturally. But some of us have more understanding of how to do this, and that's something to be aware of. But no one can control your energy like Magneto or any X-Men or anything like that, right? I don't believe that. Lynn, there's a problem with your sound. It keeps cutting out. Is it? I don't know what to say. Okay, let me put it up. is the broadband, so I hope that it keeps going. I will replay it and check it out, but from my end, there's nothing else that I can do, I'm afraid. Omnum. Hi, I would like some tips on dealing with anxiety or my constant feeling of utter fear 24/7, and maybe some takes on attachment. I get attached really quickly and strongly to people, and I suffer from it. Okay. So anxiety is a big word. So again, anxiety is the symptom of a problem. So it could be all sorts of reasons. So we need to dig a little bit deeper to understand what anxiety is to you. But you talk about a constant fear. Fear of what? If you can tell me what you are scared of, please. Take on attachment. I get attached really quickly and strongly to people, and I suffer from it. Okay. So do you have a fear of abandonment? This, just based on that, and I could be wrong, but just based on that, it sounds like it could be something to do with borderline personality disorder, or similar things to that. Do you feel that you are always, are you desperate to find someone in your life to love you? Do you struggle with your relationships? Do you always think about people, needing people to see you and love you and accept you? Do you ever think in that direction? If you can confirm this for me, please, or tell me otherwise, and so I can have a better idea. Sanko, yes, the sound is cutting. F, the sound is good here, all right? So I don't know, maybe there's some things happening in the mysterious land of Wi-Fi and broadband. I'm sorry, guys. Lynn, sound is okay now. All right, good. Love, now I am a different person with a bicep flex. Good on you, love. Sanko, can I DM you to give you more details about my problem? I don't do that because otherwise I'm overwhelmed. A lot of people do that. I'm happy to give you a discovery call if you want to ask me about my service and if we could work together or not. For this to happen, you can go on my website and send me an email from my website to organize a free discovery call. But I don't give help like that because I've got so much work already, and this is already what I'm doing. Out of my free time, I come on YouTube and TikTok to help people as much as I can. But it's got to be done within my way, right? A lot of people have sent me emails and messages, and I don't even open them because I've got so many of them, and my energy and my time is really, really limited. I look after so many people already on a day-to-day basis, and also I have my other stuff to do, and I have my own life, and so I won't be able to help you out personally like that, I'm afraid. However, if you want to ask me anything now or on any of my life, this is what I'm here for, right? This is what I'm doing. I believe that this is the best way to maximize my time and my energy to help more people. If you have anything you want to ask me now, and I can help you out. If you want to work with me, then it's a whole different thing. We can organize a discovery call, and we can also do this. But I won't be answering any direct message on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or any of those apps, I'm afraid. I hope you can understand. Thank you. Richie, I can definitely agree with the connection between trauma and addiction. Childhood trauma definitely drove my addiction. Now, as an adult, I can see my childhood wasn't great. Okay. Yeah. Self-reflection is very important indeed. Monica, message retracted. Hami, do you also deal with clinical depression? Yes. I used to suffer from bipolar. I was diagnosed with bipolar in my early 20s. So yes, absolutely. Depression is, let me just have a sip of coffee, please. Depression and anxiety are essentially the two things that comes out of any mental and emotional imbalance. And so yes. Do you want to talk about your depression, Ashimi? Ami, I'm going to say your name, Hami. Love, smash or pass chat. I don't understand that. F, to my energy question, I can feel those energies when I'm home, alone, from my stalker, for example. I physically feel emotions and my energy is drained. This is not superstition, this is real. Okay, it's not that it's not superstition. I understand that it's real to you. You feel it, right? But what you want to understand is, why do you feel it, right? So if we believe that something is happening, we're going to believe that this is the reason as to why we feel like that. And that's why, this is what I am questioning. I'm questioning the belief. I'm not questioning the feeling. I know that you can feel certain things, but this is the thing. If we believe something, we want to really address that belief and find out whether or not it's useful to us. So we all have different beliefs, and I don't want to diss your own personal belief system. However, from my perspective, because my job is to help people out, I always say this: realize that your beliefs are just beliefs. Change them, upgrade them in a way that they become useful belief to you. If you believe that there's such thing as something like demons, ghosts, bad juju that you can do nothing about, it's not going to be helpful. At least I won't be able to help you. If you really believe that, then you need to connect with people who also believe sort of things, and they have their own systems to help you with that. But I don't, so I won't be able to help you out. But if you can see things from a psychological perspective, then my input would be, if you believe that there are some people who can manipulate your energy, change that belief, realize that it's not the case. Realize that your thoughts, your belief about anything create reactions in your body. If you believe in a curse will happen to you, more or less. If you believe that you're going to have a very bad illness at a certain age in your life because everyone else in your family they had it, you will manifest it in your body and you will be ill just like them. Cancer, for instance. If you believe that everyone in my family has got cancer and I'm going to be the next one, you will probably trigger those carcinogenic cells in your body that were originally dormant and were not meant to be triggered. But the belief of it will switch them on, right? Amongst other factors, also stress. So yes, that's what I'm trying to say. You want to address what are the thoughts that are getting you to feel like that? So some of us, we may have some, I don't know, some health anxiety, and we can over-obsessed about our body. And as we do that, we may end up feeling stuff because we keep on thinking those thoughts. Could you give me some examples, some patterns as to when and how this happens? Omnum. I don't know. Sometimes it is failure or not being enough, and mostly the feeling something bad is going to happen anyway. Always. I do have PTSD and I had therapy for 3 years, but stopped. Okay, so if you have PTSD and you haven't dealt with it fully yet, then it will have some repercussion into the way that you think and feel, right? And your own belief system. So let me go back to Omnum's original conversation. Anxiety. We're talking about BPD. So now, I don't know. So yes, I was suggesting that it was maybe connected to some problem of attachment, which is very common with BPD people. But if you say fear of not being enough, it's a part of it, right? We believe that we're not enough to be loved naturally, unconditionally by people that we like. Bad things are going to happen. Also, something it can be also associated to that. Bad things are going to happen, and I need to be with someone. I need someone on my side. But yeah, it could be other things as well. I do have PTSD. If you say that you have PTSD, bad things are going to happen. It is what it is. It is exactly it. If you haven't healed, fix your PTSD, you will believe that things are going to be bad at some point. Just bear with me. Just give me just 1 second. I need to post my last TikTok video of the day now. And
There's a Japanese.
Okay, I'm back. This is my reminder. So yes, so basically, work on your PTSD. Find ways to. PTSD can absolutely be changed and addressed. 100% for sure. Find the right person, the right system, the right protocol to make it happen. Because until you do so, there's a part of you that is always going to be on a state of hypervigilance, waiting for the bad things to happen again. And that is going to get you into a state where you're going to have more propensity to overthink about all sort of things. And now, if you have some belief that are negative, it's going to all come back to the front. And so basically, it's a snowball reaction. And you're going to end up having anxiety about other things that are not necessarily to do with the PTSD. And so, yes, address the PTSD first so that you learn how to regulate your nervous system, learn how to change that belief that you have about that particular incident. And then, once this is done, then you can address all the other belief. That would be my recommendation. Hami, I never feel enough. I am never happy. Thank you for the heart, whoever it is. I keep losing myself. I feel left out too. I don't know when things will be better for me. I just keep absorbing everything, and now in that I have lost myself. Okay, so so you're the one asking about depression, isn't it, Hami? Yes, okay. So basically this is what depression is. Depression is a disconnection from something that is very fundamental, very important, very paramount to our human experience. And so it's telling us that we have disconnected from something. And so what you want to do is to find out what it is that you have disconnected from and find a way to reconnect to the thing. This is how you heal from depression. Depression can be a disconnection from you and your tribe, maybe your family. It can be a disconnection from you and your purpose, what you really want to do, as opposed to doing the things that you don't want to do. It can be a disconnection from your body. If you can't feel your emotions, your feelings, if you have created some sort of gate between you and your feelings, that's a disconnection that is very important and terribly destructive. And there are a few other things that you can be disconnected from as well. But those are the main things: people, purpose, and feelings and emotions. And so if you feel disconnected from any of those things, you want to find a way, you want to go on a journey to reconnect with those things. If you're disconnected from people, you may realize that the people that have hurt you in the past, there are only some people in the world. There are plenty of other people. And you can create a connection with other people to make up for that. You can change the idea that those people that are more important than everyone else in the world. You can find your tribe. You can create yourself a new family, a new bunch of people that will love you and see you and support you. So that you don't need to go back into those people who have never loved you and will never love you. And so you have to stop asking them to give you something that they've never given you anyway. If you feel disconnected from your purpose, you can find a way to reconnect you can go on a journey to find out what it is that you really love, what excites you, what stimulates you positively. If you don't know what it is, if you have repressed it so bad that you don't even know, it's okay. You have your whole life to find out. Try different things, stay open-minded and explore things, and listen to your intuition, listen to your body, whatever gets you a little bit of excitement or whatever interests you here. And eventually you may start to experience the floodgate of emotions connected to that thing or something. And if you're disconnected to your emotions and feelings, you want to learn about emotional intelligence. So again, therapy, self-help, books, all of those things can be very useful. Meditation, mindfulness, but you want to learn how to feel again. And it's a system, it's a process, but you can absolutely do this. Hope it makes sense. Omnom. The attachment is that I lived alone for 4 years now. Thank you for the little heart. CPS took me out, and I need physical touch and just people around me, which is weird. I used to be an introvert and extremely mistrustful. So it's very normal that you need touch. It's a good thing that you are able to acknowledge that. We all need some physical touch. It's very, very important. So if you live alone now, what is CPS took me out? Are you talking about CPS? The Crown Prosecution Service. You had some problem with the troubles with the law? Is that it? I need physical touch. In that case, go out, meet people, find out what it is that is preventing you from socializing and meeting people again. which is weird. I used to be introvert, right? If you need something, learn how to get that thing. Am I being naive? Am I missing out something? But this is it. If you want something, anything at all, learn how to do this. Everything is a process. Everything has a system. Everything has a path. It's for you to find out how to make it happen. And so what is holding us back? This is the problem. What you need to let go of, what is holding you back into putting those things together. But there's a system for everyone to get whatever that they need. We just need to find out what it is for us, right? I feel that I'm missing something. For anyone here, including Omnum, do make sure that when you write a question, this is how I work. I need questions that are concise, but also with some details so that I know a bit about yourself. Sanko, all right, for me, I escape into addiction whenever I feel pressure from college and studies, especially deadlines, and it never happens during summer holiday. Okay, so basically the addiction is there to protect you from the stress and the pressure that you're going through when you're studying, right? Because it doesn't happen for holidays. And so your problem is the pressure. Now, you need to study. You cannot not study, right? This is what you want to do. This is what you have to do. And so what you want to do is to find a way to do it without the stress and the pressure. You want to change the idea that if you don't do it, you're going to be a failure. If you don't do it in time, if you don't do all that amount of work, people are going to judge you and reject you. Just tell yourself, I'm going to do my best, and whatever happens is my best. Learn how to accept that we cannot do always exactly precisely what we want to do. We can do our best. So accept that your best is good enough. Listen to your body and understand that for you to be optimal anyway, you don't want to do too much. Because if you're forcing yourself to do too much and you don't sleep and you're always studying, your brain is not going to be optimal. Your brain needs some periods of rest and chill and happiness to process the things that you have learned. And so even if you want it to be very, very practical, if you want to be efficient at your studying, you don't want to study for hours on end every night, not doing anything. You want to organize a balance between studying and enjoying yourself. But you may say, but I haven't got enough time. Well, in that case, what I would say to you is do the Pareto principle. So the Pareto principle is basically 80-20%, and that can be applied in many, many different conversations and fields. But essentially, the idea behind it is that 80% of the result that you have is created by 20% of the work that you do. And 80% of the work that you do only delivers 20% of the result. And so what it means is focus on the big lines. Focus on the most important thing. Don't try to know and understand everything about your studies. Find a system to basically highlight the big things and then chill. And that will be much, much more beneficial to you than trying to get everything in. From a brain power perspective. But also, as you are not being stressed out because you're going to chill, you can go out, play some football, chill out in the sun, have a coffee with some friends, whatever. Then, in those moments, you are letting go of the stress, you are chilling out, and your brain is processing it, but also you're not being under stress. So now, you don't need to overcompensate to regulate your nervous system by going on the internet and doing your stuff that you're addicted to, right? And so, yeah, try this. Get rid of the deadline, the pressure. Accept that we live in a capitalist society that wants us to do all of those things. But you can only do what you can do. And so accept that this is what I can do. I'm going to learn how to be satisfied with that. I'm going to learn how to be satisfied with less. If I can do more, it's a bonus. Everything is an extra. But if not, it's still okay. Because if you live with the perfectionism mindset and obsession, I have to do all of those things, it's going to be done in deadline. Now you're creating stress. And as you are stressed out, you will need an addiction to give you solace from that stress. So the solution lies in you changing the way that you see your whole studying system. I hope it makes sense. So focus on the big lines, Pareto principle, 80-20 rules. But also, if you can't do it even, it's okay. You can only do what you can do. Accept this. And then trust the universe to support you. Trust a universal intelligence to help you out whenever you need it. You have also something called intuition, and also your brain, when you do your exams, has access to zillions of memories. But if you're stressed out, if you're tired, you won't access them because you're going to be tense. If you're chilled, even if you haven't studied as much as you wanted to, if you're relaxed on the day of the exams, your mind's going to remember so much more from everything else that you've been through, and that will help you out. Think about that movie, Slumdog Millionaire. Uh, Amazing movie. The guy remembers something, but it seems to be absolutely whatever, and yet it's so important to that moment because it helps him answer the question and gets closer to the million. It's the same thing. Some stuff that you've been through all throughout your life, could it be related to studies or not, are going to be coming back to you, brought by your subconscious mind when you need it, if you're open, if your subconscious mind is relaxed and open in that moment. So there you go. Something different. I hope it makes sense. What do you think about this, Senko? Does it help? Money. I always feel I need to struggle in life, and I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I suffer because of not being able to get what I want. Comparing myself, parents were bullies, very critical, violent. Okay, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let's talk about this. So this is the case of many of us. Maybe not as bad as you, or maybe we're all different, but it's quite common. And basically, your solution lies within your questions. So I feel I need to struggle in life. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I suffer because of not being able to get what I want. You want to change your belief. You say to yourself, comparing myself, parents were bullies, very critical, violent. And so what happened is that your parents bullied you to be better. Your parents didn't love you for who you were. You had to prove your love. You have to do a lot of things to deserve their love, so they could be proud of you. And so basically what happens is that their voice is being stuck in your head. And you now talk to yourself the way your parents used to talk to you. It's not enough, it's rubbish, you should try harder, you need to be a high achiever, you need to beat everyone up in competition better than everyone. And you know that you suffered from it when you were a child. But irony behind it, the cruel irony, is that now you are making yourself suffer the way your parents did back then. And so essentially what I'm trying to say is that you suffer because of the way you think to yourself, the way you talk to yourself. And that voice that you have is not your voice. It's the voice of your parents. It's the voice of your bullies. They were your bullies and they're still bullying you. But now you have learned how to bully yourself. And so change that narrative, change that voice. Learn how to, and so again, it's a process. But you want to learn how to find a way to learn how to speak to yourself in a kinder way. Your parents were very hard with you. And so what did you want? You wanted your parents to be kind to you, to be supportive, to be compassionate, to be patient, to be understanding, right? Now you can do that. You can be that to yourself. Learn how to be kind to yourself. Learn how to speak to yourself like your best friend, like someone that you care for, someone that you want to succeed, right? Instead of having someone that is trying to punish you and be hard, give you tough love. You don't want tough love. F that. You want someone who loves you, who is going to tell you, it's okay, no one is perfect. There's no rush, we have time. I'm here for you. I'll be waiting for you by your side. We're going to make it happen together. Change the narrative that you have in your mind. Change the way you talk to yourself. Change the way everything that you have in your mind that is putting you down, you can change one by one by having first an awareness of this. Realize that what you think is just a broken program, a broken record from the past. And we do this a lot. It's not just about in regards to life, but even the small things that we go through. I was like everyone, like you, I was like that. In the past, I remember very often if I dropped something, I would talk to myself in a very harsh way. I would say, you're so fucking stupid, what the F is wrong with you? Arr! Pardon my French. But I will actually I will punish and insult myself. And then I realized that at some point, why am I so mean to myself? If there was a child in front of me dropping something, I could be mean to a child, say, why are you so stupid? Why are you so clumsy? Or I could say, it's okay, dear, it's no worries, let's clean it up, there's no need to cry, let's go get an ice cream or whatever. And now I'm choosing to be that to myself, and everything changes. And you can do this too, right? I hope it helps. Money, what do you think? Om nom. And I did start getting diagnosed for BPD from a psychiatrist, but I never heard back from her. Okay, so I was into something, right? Meditation was leading me in a direction that was conclusive to what that psychiatrist was thinking about you. So that could be something, for the fact that just popped into my mind, and it was also a suggestion from a psychiatrist looking after you. So in that case, have you looked at it? Have you done some research about BPD or not? Jenny, how to minimize overthinking and overanalyzing everything? It comes from being hypervigilant because of childhood. Practically daily tips, please. Okay. So basically, if you are thinking, overthinking, overanalyzing, this is the symptom of a problem. It's not a problem. The problem, you know it. It's an unresolved wound. You have been hurt in the past, and there's a part of you that believes that it's going to happen again, and it doesn't know what to do about it, and it believes that the only way to deal with that is to overthink. And so basically, the overthinking is a system that you put into place to protect yourself from that hurt from the past. And so you don't want to change the mechanism that you have put into place to protect you. You want to change the reason as to why it exists. If you don't have the fear anymore, you don't need to overthink anymore. And so I would say address your past, do some work on yourself and some therapy. That's one element that is very important. But there's still something that we can do without doing it. If you want to minimize thinking, overthinking, analyzing, it depends. It depends how bad it is. If it's really, really bad, it's all happening here. And no matter what we do there, will not affect here. Because it's two different places. This is emotional, it's your body. And this is your head, it's cognitive. And so this is why talking therapy don't really do much when it comes to trauma, because your trauma is in your body, it's in your nervous system, not in your brain. But having said that, we can address some of the some level of problems from top to bottom, from your head. And so you want to basically first address the overthinking and realize that overthinking is never going to help you out with anything. The reason why we overthink for many of us and overanalyze things is because we don't want to feel. Many of us, we've been taught in childhood, or we have learned about ourselves that feeling was not a good idea. Emotions, bad. Whenever I have emotion, whenever I express myself, I get punished. Or whenever I feel something bad happens for whatever reasons. And so now we're going to be terrified with our own emotions and feelings and sensations. And now we're going to be hiding ourselves out of the body in our head. We're going to be hiding in our head from our body. We don't want to be in our body because emotions equals pain, equals problems. So now we're going to overanalyze how we feel so that we don't need to feel those feelings. That's what most of us, when we overthink and overanalyze things, do. So one of the solutions for you, if that's the case for you, is to learn how to feel again. Reacquaint with your body. Learn about emotional intelligence. It's a system you can learn. You can find out about it. There's a lot of different ways to learn it. But if you can learn how to reconnect with your emotions and your feelings, then you realize that, I've been trapped in my head and overthinking and overanalyzing everything because I was trying to solve something from a mind that doesn't understand that language. So we have different minds. You have the head, the heart, and the gut, and they all have a different language. And so if you don't use the same language, it's never going to solve it. Right? Your head, your mind here, that mind works with words, pictures, narrative. Your heart, your body, works with emotions and feelings and sensations. It's a different language. But as long as you think about it, you're never going to solve whatever you want to resolve. And so the solution to that is to learn how to feel it and then realize it's a whole different language. You don't think your feelings, you just feel them. And then after that, you can start to think about it. You can think to yourself, why did I feel like that? What is my body trying to tell me about myself? What does it want me to do? Right? Your feelings and your emotions exist to tell you something, to get your attention in a direction. And so that's my answer to you. Right? So it's something that you can try. And just to finish my explanation of the three minds, the third mind is the gut. It's your intuition. I can see there are a lot of hearts. Thank you. So I hope that it's you, Jenny, finding it useful. Omnum. My therapist sent me on my way and said I'm fine, even though we both knew I'm not, but it's difficult to find a new one. Keep looking, keep searching. It's your journey, it's your adventure. So it's for you to keep searching and finding people that can help you out, right? We're all here to look after ourselves, to go through our human experience. And so it's your job to keep looking for the right person with the right system, with the right energy and the right emotional connection at the right time, and eventually you will learn more and more and more and more about yourself. Right? It's your journey to go through. Right? If it's hard, it's because yes, it's not easy. I get it absolutely. When it comes to mental health, there's so many things to take into consideration to make it work. However, whether it's hard or not doesn't matter. If you think it's hard, you're going to make it harder for yourself. It's hard, it's hard. You are self-hypnotizing, helplessness, disempowerment, feeling weak and unable to do anything. So instead, change your mindset and do, you know what? I don't care if it's hard or not. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. It's going to take some time, no matter how long it takes. No matter how much I try and I meet the wrong people, I will keep on trying and I keep on trying again and again until it works. That's it. And this is what we do. For me, it took me 38 years. For some people, it takes more time. For people, it takes less. We're all different. But it doesn't matter whether it's hard or not. It's a self-judgment that you're doing, but it's holding you back. So I understand that this is what we do. We say it's hard because we're expressing how we feel. But I want you to realize that you can actually create a little bit of empowerment by telling yourself, I don't care if it's hard. It's out of the, it doesn't matter. Everything in life that we don't know, that is different, that is new, is hard. But equally as true, whatever that we repeat over time, with a growth mindset becomes easier. Everything. And so change that mindset, and that could help you a little bit go more into that direction, hopefully. Does it help, please? Omnum? Josh, fire. How do you deal with different beliefs with a partner in a relationships? Love all your work, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts as well. What do you mean? How do you deal with different beliefs? So which belief? And is it yours or your partner's belief? We can't deal with other people's belief. This is their thing to deal with. But we can deal with our belief. Unless you are very, very versed into psychology, like me, because you're obsessed with that, and people are open to that sort of conversation, so you can teach them. Right? But how do you deal with different belief with a partner? What do you mean? Could you tell me what sort of belief? Are you talking about disagreeing on religious belief or political belief? Is that what you mean? F. The energy thing is not a belief. It is very real. This is personal. The day my mom died, I felt a strong relief from my worries, and I felt a whole the first time in decades. Okay, it's okay. But so I'm saying this is your belief. This is your truth. There's no such thing as one true reality. So this is the one thing we may actually disagree on. A lot of people find it very difficult to get their head around this, but there's no such thing as one reality. There's only the reality that we create based on our belief. And so if you believe that, for you, it will be true. If I don't believe that, for me, it's not true. And it's the same with everyone and any belief at all. We create our own reality based on what we believe. There's no such thing as one reality. There's only our experience of reality because of the belief that we have about that thing that we're experiencing in this moment. Right? So I understand, I accept that it's true for you, absolutely. But what I'm trying to say is that if you can change that belief, then it can actually, that can be a good thing to do. If you can't change that belief, and I said it before, then you need to find someone who shares the same belief as you and has the system within that sort of belief system to help you out, right? So let's say if someone believes that there's some ghosts and spirits and demons in the house, I don't believe in that, so I can't help you with that. But if you find someone who has the same belief as you and has got a system to help you out with that, they can help you. That's what I'm saying, right? I respect people's belief. I understand that we all have them and we all have our own experience of reality. And so I'm never going to say, I never want to be that kind of person who's going to say what you believe is not true. I know that it's true for you. But what I'm trying to say is that we can change our reality by changing our belief. But if it's too hard, and I know that it's not easy for everyone, then the alternative is to find someone who has the same belief as you with the tools that you believe will help you, and they will help you in that sort of situation. Okay? Omnom, Child Protective Services. Okay? because of endangerment and neglect by my family. Okay, all right, okay. So when you were younger, okay. So you've been taken away. We're talking about, was it you about the depression? No, BPD, okay. So that will explain the BPD. So again, I'm not diagnosing you. This is out of my scope. I'm just guessing stuff just based on a few words here. But very often when those sort of situations happen in childhood, many of us end up with things like BPD because we've been abandoned, and the main thing about BPD is the fear of being abandoned again. The fear and the obsession of it. Sanko, thanks a lot again. Thank you, Sanko. Sanko, yes, the idea of doing great is like a bonus, is something I never thought about. Fantastic. Yes. So, yeah, take it easy. Enjoy yourself. And make sure that you remind yourself for your brain to be optimal. Being happy and being cheered is not just about happiness and cheered. It's that, but it's also very much directly related to your brain optimization. Right? So there you go. Prodigal Prince, if the way you speak to yourself was a real person, would you be friends with them? Yes, that's the way to look at it. We don't want to. We want to only keep within us a bunch of people that are going to support us. So instead of having the inner critic, we can tell the inner critic, it's okay, you've been doing your job, I'm trying to help out, but that's enough for now. And bring back instead the positive parts of you that will lift you up. The one who believes in you, the one who supports you, the one who are forgiving you and compassionate to you as well. Have a whole team. You have a manager, a coach. You have a security guard. You've got an events planning manager. You've got a bunch of cheerleaders. All those people that are working in your head for you. Go on, you can do this. Yes, we believe in you. You're amazing. Those sort of things. Instead of I'm not enough. I'm rubbish. I'm not worthy. I will never amount to much. Sanko, research about partial principle too. I'm not sure what do you mean by partial principle? Galactic retrograde message retracted. Okay. Lifestyle chav chat. Hello Didi, how are you? I'm very well indeed. How about you? Money, yes. The thing is, I know this. The issue is that I fall into that pattern of bullying myself. I agree that talking therapy doesn't not work with trauma. How do you heal your body from trauma and anxiety? By utilizing some systems that access your subconscious mind. Right? And that's what therapy is about. Not talking therapy, but therapies that involves your subconscious mind is what you want to go at. So there's some systems like EMDR is one of them, or RTT. I do RTT, so I can only speak really much about what I do. But those are systems that address your subconscious mind directly. And so this is what you want to do. You don't want to have systems that utilize only that language. You want to have a system that understands that language so that you can address the problem where it lives. Yeah. So RTT, I would suggest it if you find the right person, or EMDR for therapy, great result. There are all sorts of different systems. It's for you to find out the ones that resonate the most with you, and find someone with whom you can have some sort of emotional connection. You believe, you trust them to be able to help you and to come from a good place. And then when you have all of those conditions in place, go for it and see what happens. Jenny D, thank you, that helped a lot. Fantastic, thank you, Jenny. Lifestyle. Later, I was browse shopping with my sis. After it didn't buy anything, she darted off. She said she was in pain and did say to me she's going straight home after. I understood this, but she's not the only one. I find people I know, they never relaxed with me, be leisurely with me. I find I sit and wait for people who cannot reciprocate the same thing for me. It's very confusing. I'm trying to understand. Let's see. Hopefully I get my head around this at some point. Josh Fire. Let's say religious belief, and if they believe some conspiracy theories, for example, that are little out there, the moral belief are still the same, and we still love being together with that said. Okay, so this is a very good conversation to have. It depends. It depends how you feel about it. So it depends on how much those sort of belief are affecting you or not. if you feel that it's a real problem, oh, I can't stand people who have a sort of belief, then it's not going to be good. Your body's telling you there's something that's not working. But if it's just little things and you just think, they shouldn't believe that, but it's not such a big deal, accept it. We're all different. Accept people as they are. And you say to yourself, the moral belief are still there. It's the most important ones, isn't it? And we still love being together with that said. So yes, so there's more, to me, just based on that, there's more goodness than not. Some people may disagree with us on some things. Only you know if it's important to you or not. That's it. But again, on one hand, if you know a lot about belief, you can explain to them how the belief system works, and that can actually help them maybe raise some more critical thinking. Or maybe you're wrong. There's also that. Think about it. You know, we're not always right. Maybe they're right and we're wrong. We must accept that eventuality, that possibility. Right? Again, it's all about belief. And so we want to be open-minded and engage into conversation, but mostly listen to how you feel. And is it a really big deal or not? Is it just a part of me that is thinking, it's got to be right? And you can say, oh, it doesn't matter. I want to be kind instead of being right, right? I want to be connected emotionally to my partner instead of trying to win over them. Right? So it all depends. But from what you say, it doesn't seem like it's much of a problem, is it? And also when it comes to religious belief, there's always ways to actually connect. There are ways for people who don't believe in the same religious or spiritual belief to find a way to be on the same wavelength. We can talk about this. If you want to give me an example as to how your religious beliefs differ. Let's say if one of you was Muslim and the other one was Christian, I'd say instead of fighting about which religion is best, I would say that they're both good. They just have a different way to communicate things, but they are all religions. I created a post about it. I'm going to put it out next week. All religions are like cars, and they're all designed to take us into a spiritual journey. Whatever that it is, it's the journey. However, some of us are so obsessed with the car, and they're obsessed with telling everyone how their car is better than all the other cars, that they have forgotten all about the actual journey. And this is when it becomes a problem. But if you can remind yourself of what it's meant to be doing, and it's the same with atheism. If you don't believe that there's anything, let's say, in the afterlife, I would say that the person who believes in something should just allow you to believe that, and maybe over time you may change your mind. Yeah, it depends on which. I love sort of this conversation, but I don't even know if that's what you want to talk about. So it depends on how the conversation goes. But I believe that people who don't have any spiritual awareness at all, people who believe that afterlife is just a black hole with nothingness, they're missing out on something. They just want fact, and I believe in magic. So because of that, I'm highly spiritual. And I believe that we can learn how to develop that regardless of our belief system over time if we are having a discussion with the right people. So, Josh, did I satisfy your question? Do you want to ask me more? Lifestyle chaff chat. They tend to rush me. Can never just take a leisurely walk or browse shopping with me or chill, sit and eat and relax. Always have to leave abruptly or act in some manner. Okay, so now that I know all of this, I need you to tell me, what is your question? Give me a question. Now you have given me a context, so I understand something is happening. What is the most problematic aspect of this? What would you like to change about this? If you can give me that, I can answer a question. Omnum. Thank you, Didi. Your insights are very helpful. Thank you, Omnum. I will write some of them down so I can work on what you said. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, guys, so this is what I'm doing things. Take notes. Also, just so you know, all the live that I do on YouTube stay on my YouTube channel. So what you need to do is to go on my profile and click the live section, and you will see all my previous lives. So what it means is that if you have interacted with me and you have asked me questions, you can replay it to remind yourself of how I answered your question and take some more notes. Thank you, Omnam. Jenny Yes, Moni, how do you heal your body from trauma and anxiety? I've heard that trauma is stored in the body. Yes, you heal your body. You heal your body from trauma by addressing it in the place where it is, in your body, not in your head. Dylan, le backshot or curry the furry? I haven't got a clue what it means, Dylan. Lifestyle. I used to think it was me, but I had some problems. But then I started to realize it's not me. A lot of the time, I'm around a lot of toxic people with issues, and it comes out in their behavior towards me. All right, so getting somewhere. I spend the majority of my time taking myself, not to take the actions of others. So personally, because I find many people behavior weird or unnecessary, like they want to start drama to cause drama. Okay, dot dot dot. So there's gonna be more, hopefully. Rick, love from Australia. Thank you so much, Rick. Azim, I like your hoodie. It's not a hoodie, but thank you. Lifestyle or argument or something. I find many people insecure or immature. They act out with behaviors trying to make you feel awkward because they themselves feel awkward. What do you think about all of this? I need you to give me a question, right? I think that whatever that we're experiencing is always to do with something that we can do about. So it's true that there's an element of others, but it's not about that. I want to realize why it's always happening. I don't believe that everyone in the world is as you describe they are. And so how come you have those people in your life, and how come you have sort of interactions with them? And so the way that I see it is when it comes to people, it's always 50-50. But we can only address our part of the equation. So that will be the sort of conversation that I have. Right? But if you can ask me a question, and then I can answer a question for you. Just a plain, concise question, now that I know all of this, and so you can take me in a direction. What is the problem? What is the main thing that you want to change about this? But know that my answer will be directed to the things that you can change from the inside of you. So it's not because of you, as in there's nothing wrong about you. We are which that we are, and we do our best to navigate through the world from the start we started life from, right? And so we're just all learning all the time. But when it comes to the things that you described, it is to do with our sense of self. It is to do with what we think of ourselves, what we think of people. And a lot of this is happening at a subconscious level. So we're not aware of it cognitively, but we feel some sort of energy, and we always replicate the same sort of emotional interactions with people because it is familiar. And so if you can realize this is how we can change things. Caroline, how does working out affect our mental health? I read it increases circulating of serotonin. So it does a lot of things. When you work out, you create not just serotonin, you create endorphin, you create oxytocin, you create adrenaline, you create all sorts of things in your body that are going to be beneficial to different things. And essentially, what we want to realize is that whenever you look after your body, you're looking after your mental health and your emotional health as well. And it goes both way around. When you look after your mental and emotional health, you're looking after your physical body and state. Because we are one thing. And I often talk about this like this. You are not a body and a mind or a soul in a body. You are a body and a mind and a soul and so many things. You are all of it, all at the same time. So what it means is that there's a direct connection between your body and your mind. When you look after yourself for physical health, if you eat well, if you sleep well, if you exercise, if you socialize, if you go out in nature, if you spend some time in the sun, if you do things that makes you happy, if you meditate, if you do all those things, your mental and emotional health will benefit from it. It will not necessarily fix whatever problems you may have, but it will absolutely make you feel better and help you heal from your mental emotional problem as well better. And so, yes, working out is very, very important. I work out all the time. For me, it's a very huge part of my lifestyle. But because I understand, I love it, but also because I understand the implications it has on my mental health. Again, I used to suffer from bipolar, borderline, ADHD, and CPTSD. I still have ADHD, but I don't suffer from the problems from the other conditions anymore. And one of the most important things that I must do is to look after my lifestyle. And so that's why I always tell people how important it is for your mental health and emotional health to eat well, sleep well, and move. That's the three big ones. But also socialize, meditate, and make yourself happy. Stimulate yourself positively. Be creative, you know, sort of things. But the three big ones are this. If I don't sleep well, I'm going to be a wreck. And I'm getting more irritable. I'm going to be more easily stressed out. I'm going to be more reactive. I will be very hard for me to focus on things. And it's the same thing if I don't eat well, if I don't have, if I don't fast, if I don't eat to in a way that supports my gut microbiome health, right? You know that 80% of the serotonin in your body are created in the gut. So if you have junk food, that's 80% of the serotonin thrown away before you even get started. And then, so moving is stimulating your body and your brain. It's stimulating everything about yourself at a muscular, but also at an energetic level. And is getting some blood flowing, is bringing all the nutrients and all the things everywhere where it should be. Is getting your mind to remind yourself that you are physical and you need your body to be healthy and to be able to do stuff. So a lot of things happening when you exercise, when you work out. So yes, working out, great. If you enjoy it, do it. If you don't, find alternatives. But it is paramount for general health, not just physical, but also mental health, to exercise, to work out, to do something physical that we enjoy. F, thank you. Josh, I want to be kind instead of right. I love that. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Josh. I'm an atheist and she's a Christian. Love the car analogy. Thank you very much. So now you have an idea. This is the thing. So you can be an atheist and still have some spiritual belief. Do you believe in the universe? Do you believe that there's something bigger than us? Whatever that it is. Because science doesn't know everything. And I love science. I'm obsessed with with Neil deGrasse Tyson, amongst others. But it's not this or that. I believe that when it comes to spiritual belief, there are the things that science has never and will probably never explain. We can use our intuition. Intuition is precisely the mind that connects us to the divine. And by divine, I don't necessarily mean God. It can be God, if you call it God, but it can be also the universe. What do you believe in, Josh? Do you believe in, do you have some spiritual belief at all? Smoky Granny. Near-death experience stories made me believe in an afterlife. Maybe it's the traditional afterlife or something else. Okay, good on you. Yes, absolutely, I believe in that. Indeed, so many near-death experiences and people also through hypnosis have been saying all the same thing. And this is why there's so much more understanding of an alternative to religion versus atheism. We can believe whatever what we want. There's so much more to this than that. Money, thank you. Thank you, Money. Smoky, very off topic. I'm getting my own apartment soon. What would be some smart and intelligent things to keep in mind? Maybe a bit of wisdom. Okay, let me think about this. I'm getting my own apartment soon. I just say, enjoy, relax, create a space, use that as your, but you do it already anyway, but maybe bring more mindfulness into it. Make it a space where you're going to make sure that that shell of a space is going to be your temple. It's going to be your secret garden. It's going to be the place where you can be at peace, where you don't bring drama, where you don't bring worries, where you don't bring troubles, right? Make it a sanctuary, since it's a new place, so that whatever happens to you in the world, you know that you can always retrieve to your sanctuary and chill and feel safe and meditate and be happy. Yes, I would say that if it's new apartments, so I never thought about that, but you are challenging me here and it's good. But whatever that we do in a place, we create some emotional memories. in the places where we are. And so if it's a new place, you might as well make sure that you keep any negative feelings away from that place, so that it's easier for you to be in a place of zen whenever the world is collapsing around you. If you bring troubles because you are still unheard, then the place where you live is going to be feeding from that energy. So just a random thought to answer your random question. Let me have a sip of coffee, please. Lifestyle. Yes, so what are you saying? I have anxiety, so because of this, I spend a big proportion of my time telling myself in my head to chill out, calm down, don't be so anxious. So, so you have an awareness of this, so that's great. What you want to do is to change the way you talk to yourself. You want to realize that your mind does not process a negative. So if you say, don't be so anxious, don't will not be processed. It's just going to get anxious, anxious, anxious. And now you're going to feel more anxious. So instead, focus on what you do want instead. Focus on, so do you practice mindfulness and meditation? I would suggest you to do that, right? Spend some time studying, exploring, developing the skill of mindfulness and meditation. That will help you with your anxiety. Learn how to do breath work as well to regulate your whole body. And basically change the narrative that you have in your head over time by choosing what you want to play in it. So play in your mind the things that are making you feel good about yourself. Play in your mind the things that you want to create for yourself. And then get going and do what you can to make this happen. But when we suffer from anxiety or depression, it's because we are stagnant. We are thinking about a thought and it keeps on going and we're not doing anything about it. So change the program and learn how to develop a system baby step by baby step that will help you get closer to that new state that you want to create for yourself. Also change the language. You don't have anxiety. You feel anxious. You feel anxiety. And so maybe learn about emotional intelligence. But again, we talk about therapy, learning about yourself. There's a lot of different things you can do. But when you say, I have anxiety, you are sending a command to your mind. Mind, listen to me. I have anxiety. So now you're going to be holding on to that anxiety in your body. If you can tell yourself, I feel anxiety, it's different. Because the feeling of anxiety, it's an emotional energy that passes. It's not meant to last. Right? Any emotions and feelings, they're just energies that go through your body, in, out, and they're not meant to last. They only last when we hold on to them. So if you believe that I have anxiety, I am anxious, now it's going to stay with you. If you're thinking, why I'm anxious, you're going to start to analyze and overthink about all the reasons as to why you should feel anxious. Now it's going to stay forever in your body, for as long as you think about those things. But if you can remind yourself, I'm just feeling anxiety. My body is making me feel something because it wants to tell me something about myself. So now, just feel it. Feel the anxiety. Unless it's a panic attack. It's an exception. But if you can feel the anxiety and realize, you know what, just feeling it, I'm going to get acquainted with it. Okay, so let's give it a shape. Maybe it's triangle. Let's give it a color. Maybe it's red. Let's give it a name. I'm going to call it, I don't know, John or Greta or whatever. and so now, oh, it's not too bad. It's John who's the triangle and it's red. And let's find out where is it. Is it in my belly? Is it in my chest? Is it in my head? Where does it stay? So now you can picture where it is. And as you breathe, and as you just feel it, you will realize that it's going to disappear eventually. It doesn't last. It is not meant to last more than 90 seconds. Any level of stress, any emotions are processed through your body within maximum 90 seconds if you don't stop. If you stop, if you don't think about it, it is the thinking about it that makes it last longer. So if you can learn how to reconnect with the anxiety, with the stress, with the fear, with the anger, with the sadness, and just do what I've done, and then realize you know what? Even if I switch the button, I'm trying to amplify it, it's not going anywhere. It's going because I am now processing that feeling. Instead of thinking about it, I am allowing it to express itself in my body. I'm acknowledging it, and now it's done its job, so it can go. It keeps coming back when it's not being seen and heard. Your emotions, they're like little personalities. They're like, hear me out, hear me out. If you repress it, it's going to keep coming back again and again until it's heard. And so, and if you do this, if you keep repressing them for many years, it's going to start to affect your organs and your physical health, your immune system, and all of those things. And so, yes, try this. And tell me what you think about this, please. The Hermit. My BPD makes it hard for me to make friends. How do I start building meaningful friendships without being ready to cut them off out of my life when there is conflict? So you're addressing, like so many of us, we address the symptom instead of addressing the problem. The problem is not that you can't make friends. The problem is your BPD. Address your BPD. That's it. Work on your BPD. Change the way you think about people. Learn how to. So there's something called schema therapy or dialectical behavioral therapy. There's a lot of them, and they specialize in those sort of thought patterns. You want to change the belief that you have about people, about you in the world. You want to stop splitting. You want to stop thinking that everything is either black or white, all or nothing, right or wrong, good or bad. And essentially what you want to do is to understand that there's more than one opposite truth that can coexist together. And so you want to learn to think that it's possible that that person said something that hurt my feelings, but they also didn't mean it. And they're actually nice people. When we have BPD, as soon as someone, let's say, says something that feels wrong, that person is bad, we must destroy them. But if you can realize, they said that, and it's true that it hurt my feeling, but also it may be true that they didn't mean it. It may be true that they also care about me. It may be true that they're clumsy. It may be true that they have other things in mind. They didn't mean it. And so now suddenly, now I can reflect on that. And when it happens in a moment, if you have BPD, you will react. But after that, you can think about it and you can forgive yourself and forgive them and have a conversation. Say, I'm sorry, I overreacted once again. I thought that you said that. I didn't mean that. It's possible to do this over a long period of time. But the one thing about BPD is relationships. Is precisely what borderline personality does. It destroys relationships because we want people to be all or nothing. And when they are not everything that we want in this moment, we hate them with a vengeance. And they are bad, and they've always been bad, and we always will be bad. And again, I've got BPD, so I understand that very well. I'm not taking the piss here. I'm sharing it out of my own shared experience of it. And so change the narrative over time. It's going to take some time, but I accept that it is possible for my partner to look at that person in the street, and it's possible that they actually may find them attractive, but it's also possible at the same time that they're going to stay with me. Because we just appreciate what they see, it's human, and it's not such a big deal, With BPD, we can be also very possessive and jealous, for instance. So whatever the situation is, you want to create an expansion of your perspective. It's not just that. It's not this or that. It's this and that and that and that and that. You're expanding your understanding of the world. You're expanding what you assume of people. They've done that, but it doesn't mean that. It means this and that and possibly other things, right? And this is what we should all be doing, whether we have BPD or not, when we take things personally, for instance. We only take things personally because we believe something about it that hurts us. But if we can realize that more often than not, people do things that's got nothing to do with whatever we think is the reason as to why we do these things, then we stop taking things personally. And again, with BPD, we take everything personally. Until we understand this, it's possible to change. Does it help the Hermit? And thank you for the little hearts, if it was you. Thank you. Lifestyle. I come to realize I do this so much. I am actually a super chill person, but then because I spend so much time doing this mindfulness on myself, it makes me more hypersensitive to others. hyper and anxiousness. So I guess my question is, how can I remain calm and relaxed when around others I notice are not relaxed? So the answer is your question. How can I relax when around others I notice they are not relaxed? Well, you want to accept that whether they are relaxed or not has got nothing to do with you being relaxed. That's the belief. You believe that somehow, if they're not relaxed, maybe it means that there's a danger coming. It's like birds. If birds are singing, we chill because we know at a subconscious level that it's safe. If there's no bird singing, there may be a storm coming, so we are on the edge. And so maybe there's a part of you that believes that if they are not relaxed, I must not be relaxed. That brings me to the reason of your anxiety. So probably because you may have been through some sort of trauma that taught you that if people were not relaxed around you, it was bad news and troubles were about to happen. And so maybe you want to address this and remind yourself, people are the way they are. I don't need to stress out because they're stressed out. People are free to do whatever they want. It's their journey. It's got nothing to do with me. I can be in a place where people are very agitated and realize that it's their agitation. It's got nothing to do. I don't have to absorb it. I don't have to let it in. I don't have to be sucked into that. Learn how to create. You talk about mindfulness. So this is it. Mindfulness is about coming back to a place of peace, regardless of whatever is happening around you. Around us is just the result of many, many things, and you don't have to get involved emotionally. I hope it makes sense. Does it? Bishek, what a shame. What is a shame? S, good evening, Didi brother. Good evening, S. The Hermit. I ask because I've realized that I struggle to interact with people. So I hope that answered your question. Do tell me. Jenny, you said that one of the factors of BPD is fear of abandonment. How do you work through that and become more balanced? Therapy. That's it. Now, it's not just therapy. Some of us, we don't have access to therapy, and so we can learn how to do this ourselves. It's going to take more time, but it's possible to learn about BPD. Nowadays, AI, Google, Internet, you can... YouTube, you can access so much information. So read books about psychology, about BPD, follow people who talk about it online, learn more about it, and find out how you can do it for yourself, right? But basically what you want to do is to do some work on your inner self. Find out about your past, you can practice meditation as well, and mindfulness. It's always a good thing to do for anyone, anyway. Yes, we address BPD or the fear of abandonment by working on ourselves. How? It depends. It all depends on everyone. If you tell me more about yourself, I may be happy to give you some pointers. Right? But just based on that vague general question, this is my vague general answer. Right? How do you address BPD with therapy? Or with going on a journey of self-discovery and self-development. Josh Fire, I believe that there could be other universes out there, but all have infinite variations. Okay, so we're on the same wavelength. I also believe that everything is possible if the universal is infinitely big. So this is spiritual, because no one knows. It's just a guess. So it's a belief. Right? And you said yourself, I believe. So this is it. This is what I believe as well. I believe in quantum physics. I believe in the multiverse. I believe that all realities exist at the same time. And so now I'm going to transpose it into psychology and spirituality and how I can make it useful. And basically, this is how I see the world and how I address most things, by expanding your perspective. There's no such thing as one true happening reality that is universal. This is only our experience. And so to change any aspect of our life, all we've got to do is to change the perspective we look at it from. Right? We change the dimension by changing the angle. So yes, so you are an atheist, but you are spiritual as well. And so how do you reconcile with your girlfriend who's religious? It's the same. She has a system that is spiritual, but that is organized. So it depends how she does her religion. Some people are religious just because they are born into it. So it's tribalism. They're not on a spiritual journey. They just want to belong. Right? Some people, however, use their religion for connection with the bigger thing. So that's spiritual. And so if that's the case, you can have some connection with whatever your girlfriend is when it comes to religion. there's some comparison that can be made. The way that I see it is that religions, they are all true. All gods exist, all of them. They just have different faces, different stories, different language, different context, because they've been created by people so that they can connect with that God. So they had to have a representation that they could relate to and not be scared of. But over time, sadly, some people have used this religious belief to control people. They turn it into politics. So that's the problem. But those who can utilize religion for spiritual purposes is the same as you believing in the multiverse. It's just about finding a way to create a parallel that can create a lot of interesting conversation between you and your girlfriend, Josh. Lifestyle, yes, thanks. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, lifestyle. Josh, also another question. How can you find happiness when there are so many messed up things happening in the world, like war, genocide, and global warming? Bit of tough one, but it's been on my mind. Okay, so happiness is not something that we find. If you look at the world, you will see what your mind is looking for. And so if you watch the news, you will see global warming, genocide, horror, natural disaster, and so forth and so on. But this is not the whole world. There's a lot of things about the world that's beautiful that is not in your mind, that the news don't talk about. There's spring happening. There's a lot of trees blowing. There's a lot of birds being happy in those trees. There's a lot of nice people in the world being nice to others, doing kind things. There's a lot of beautiful things and loving stuff everywhere. Where you bring your attention will create an experience for you. So if you are obsessed with the news, and if you look at all those bad stuff that are real, they're happening, they're real. But if you are obsessed with that, you forget that there's other things about the world. You will believe that this is all that there is in this world. And it's going to be impossible for you to find peace. Because you're going to think, oh, everywhere is doom and gloom. Everyone is rotten, everything is bad. But if you can remind yourself, okay, I want to keep myself updated, but I don't need to be obsessed about it. If I can take an action for something that I find is important for me, let's talk about the genocide. If you want to go on a march, if you want to sign some petitions, if you want to do something about it, do it. And once you've done that, move on. Don't think about it. Don't be trapped into the state. Otherwise, you will prevent yourself from finding happiness. Happiness lives inside of you. You don't need to find it. Happiness is a state that you are when you don't need to be anywhere else than where you are in this moment, right? And so, how do we create happiness? We don't seek it. We don't pursue it. We let go of whatever is preventing us from feeling happy. That's it. And so in this moment, you can actually, if you think, okay, I've spent enough time checking the news, I've got enough, now I'm going to focus on being happy. I'm going to focus on this moment. I'm going to focus on enjoying that lovely afternoon with people that I enjoy the company of, or doing something that excites me, doing some research, create something that I like, dance, listen to some music, go in the park, whatever. Now, happiness is here. It's going to reveal itself. It was always here. Happiness is the result of us doing something that creates unhappiness. And so if we want to be happy, instead of seeking to have more, we want to let go of whatever is preventing us to be happy. And so yes, all those things that are true, I absolutely am with you. But thinking about it will not help. Doing something will. So again, if you can sign a petition, if you can go for a march, if you can put some message on your social media, free Palestine, or stuff like that, go for it. Do it. When you can do something, follow your gut. Do it. But then once you've done it, now I've done it. Next, what is the most important thing? Do I want to do more? Can I do something more or not? Or is it time for me to resume my life and be happy? Choose. There's no right or wrong answer. Only you knows what is the most important thing for you in this moment. But know that happiness is always there, regardless of whatever is happening around us. Even when we suffer, even when we have problems. Let's say if I have illness that is incurable and I'm in pain and I hate it, I can't work, I can't do anything, I can't go out, I can't meet the people that I love, I can't do anything. How do I create happiness? By accepting it. So it's not going to be happy as in, haha, joyful, happy. But we're still going to be better than resisting which that you cannot change. Right? Whatever that happens in this moment, we always have three choices. We can either try to do something about it, we can accept it, or we can think about it and suffer from it. That's it. Only three choices. So whenever something is happening to you, ask yourself, can I do something about it if it's important? Yes, do it. If not, accept it, accept it, accept it. If you don't accept it, you're going to end up thinking about it. Why is not? If you can't do anything or accept it, you will suffer from it. This is where suffering is born from. So yes, I hope that I somehow answered your question. I see some little heart. Maybe it's you. Thank you, Josh. Lifestyle. Yes, thanks for this. Thank you, lifestyle. I know all of this. It's a reminder. I don't even believe I have anxiety, but I try to put things in a language that someone else will know what I'm talking about. You can change this. If you tell me I feel anxiety, I will understand it. Yes, everything you say makes sense. Thank you. Thank you, lifestyle. Supplements are us. I just like the way you talk. I'm gonna have to rewatch this. Thank you very much, supplements. Miss Sparrow, do you believe in ghosts? I don't believe in ghosts. I do believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I believe in entities because I believe in multi-different dimensions. And so I believe that what we call ghosts or spirits is just sometimes a glitch in the matrix, and we merge with other dimensions, perhaps. And so that's what I call it. I believe in spirits. I believe in energy. I believe that we are. Yeah, I believe in all those things. I believe in aliens. I believe in unicorns. I believe in everything, pretty much. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't believe in bad ghosts. I don't believe in demons. I don't believe in bad juju. I don't believe in curse. I don't believe in the negative side of it. I believe that if we believe in that, we're going to manifest with sort of things in our lives. But if I can see a ghost just like a different energy, then maybe, because I do understand, I do believe that some of us have some more sensitivity to capture signals and things that others cannot. So that would explain the phenomenon of people who are able to somehow communicate with departed people, people from the past. Supplements are loads of different emojis. I'm not sure how to read them. The Hermit, it does help. Thank you, The Hermit. Lynn, my brother is very toxic with most people. He delights in hurting others. He always found ways to trigger me, to make me cry. Asked him why he hated me. He said he didn't hate me. I was nothing to him. It's troubled me for years as to why he said that. I had to cut him out of my life, but this still hurts me. This was an adult, by the way. This was as adult. Okay. So there could be all sort of reasons, but you've done the right thing to do. If you are overwhelmed by a situation, you don't understand it, and it's hurting you, cut down. But what you want to do is to change the narrative. Whatever happened to your brother made him like that. It created a system that protects him in his mind from the things that happen to him. So I don't know what happens. Could be anything at all. But basically, he behaves like that because we all develop a personality based on what we believe would serve us and keep us safe from some of the things that happened to us in the past. And so your brother came up with that, and it's his journey, it's his baggage, it's his problem to solve. It's not yours. The only one thing that you want to really tell yourself is that it's got nothing to do with you. There's a part of you that is hurt because that part of you still believes that it's because of you, that is something to do with you. No matter what you think, if you feel like that, it's because there's a part of you that fears that it's got to do with you. And so tell that part of you it's not like that. Your brother is going through his journey. He's suffering because no one acts and behaves like that unless they hurt. However, I'm not in a position to help him out. I've got my baggage. Hopefully at some point, maybe in a few years' time, we can reconnect and talk about this. But at this point in time, there's so much on my plate. I can't do this. So create the space and tell yourself, my brother is like that because of things that I don't know of, but it's got nothing to do with me. Because my brother tells me that doesn't mean that I am bad, not enough, not worthy, inferior, or whatever that you believe about yourself. We only get hurt by the behavior of people if and when there's a part of us that believes that what they say is true, that what we do is true. If it's not true to us, it cannot affect us. And so find the part of you within you that believes that it's because of you. And give it some love. Tell that part, it's okay to feel like that. You didn't know, but I'm here now. You're safe, and it's not your fault. And I can teach you how to look at it from a different perspective. Your brother is like that because he hurts, because he is overwhelmed, because he is lost and confused, because he doesn't know how to behave in a different way. So we wish him the best. However, it's not because of you. It's got nothing to do with you. Look at him from the perspective of an adult. You are the adult, and you see him as an adult, right? Because whenever you feel like that, you're looking at him from the perspective of the child. You know, he's your brother. Why is he treating me like that? It's not right. It's not fair. But if you can look at it from a perspective of just a person, you think, okay, I don't know what's going on in his life, what his story, but he's got a lot of baggage, and I wish him the best. But I know that I don't need to feel bad about him because it's got nothing to do with me. I hope it makes sense. I don't know the story precisely, but there is a story. And it could be anything. Josh, thank you, Didi. Your wisdom and insight helped me today. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Thank you, Josh. And good night to you as well. Vesperer, hi, Didi. I've been working on letting go of low self-esteem, subconscious belief like shame, embarrassment, not good enough, etc. And I'm working now on accepting and rediscovering myself. Is there something else I can do? Nope, keep going. It depends. So here you're telling me what you do, but you're not telling me about your precise problem. So if you want me to help you out, this is how I work. Give me a question. What is your problem? What do you want to change in your life? And then based on that, I will come up with something. Here you're telling me what you're doing already. So that's good. Keep doing it. But I don't know what is left to be done because I don't know anything else about you yet. To me, it sounds like you're doing the right thing, right? What are you doing precisely to do all those things? Jenny, thank you, Didi. I think most time we want quick, shortcut solutions to lifelong issues. Okay, yes, so that's a very good point. And you have said it will take time. Thank you. Okay, so this is it. You are on the journey. Appreciate the journey. Appreciate the progress. Appreciate all the things that you're learning about yourself and the discoveries, the little mind-blown moments that you go through. This is what it's about. The thing is that we want to go from a place of I'm not happy to a place of everything is perfect. And so instead of appreciating the journey, you are slowing yourself down because you're thinking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? I want to be there. It's not happening. Oh, and you forget that this is going to actually hold you back. There's a part of you that believes, I am not enough. I must be healed. Everything is bad and rotten and wrong about me. And this is what you want to change. Learn how to be kind to yourself. No. I've been on a discovery journey. It's my experience. It's my life. I'm getting better. And I'm so proud of myself. Change the narrative. Be patient. It's not about the outcome. It's about the journey. But this is the thing very often, even when it comes to healing, a lot of people, they're like, it's not working because I still have a problem. No, you've done so much better. Focus on the progress instead of, I'm not enough. I hate myself so much, but I want to change everything. And we want to change that narrative. We don't want to hate any part of ourselves. Healing comes from loving all the parts within us. So this is the opposite we should be doing already. So learn how to love yourself, learn how to appreciate the journey, and know that whatever happens will happen in the right way at the right time. Right? And it's got nothing to do with what we want. The universe knows best. We're in here to experience our experience, and everything should be appreciated so that we can heal quicker. Gratitude, appreciation, acceptance, all of those things. Forgiveness. So yeah. Omnam, I got to know someone first 4 weeks, super nice. We got really close, and now he's ghosting We are both going through a lot, change and stressed. Agreed to not making it serious for 6 months at least, okay? Okay. So, is there anything you'd like to ask me about this? Whatever system you come up, if it feels right to you, why not? But I think that when it comes to relationship, people are overthinking it. We want everything to be perfect. So we're not ready to do this because of this or that. You know what? Just take it one day at a time. Just do what you can, enjoy what you can, and just, see what the next day brings. A lot of us, when it comes to relationship, we put ourselves under so much pressure. Otherwise it's gonna be perfect. Otherwise, we don't want to mess this up. How about just taking it easy, both of you, and just do what you can. And if you can't, it's fine as well. But don't make it so serious. We only have one life as far as this life is concerned. And there are millions of people, and there are millions of experiences to go through. So I would personally say, just chill and see what happens, and try to communicate that to the other person. But if it's not working, it's also okay. Omnom, he seems to be distant unless he wants to meet 1-2 times a month and seems overwhelmed. He is somewhat egoist and stuff, and everything feels weird a bit. Okay, so why are you with that person? Do you enjoy the company? Because at the moment I got weird, selfish, so it doesn't seem like you really enjoy that person. I don't know. Etnas, you're the best, bro. Thank you so much, Etnas. Big capital letters. Thank you. I feel like he's not ready for a serious relationship, but does not want to lose me. We talked BPD earlier. Okay, so I take this seriously, and I don't know until which point I should accept this behavior. Address your BPD. Don't try to. As long as you have BPD, you won't be able to not accept other people's behavior and then react to it and be angry at them and be fighting along, because this is what BPD does. We're desperate to be with someone, and if they are showing something nice in this moment, in that moment they're amazing, they're everything that we always wanted for. Finally we're seeing, oh, this is so special, and the next moment we hate them because everything collapses. And so the problem is not the relationship, the problem is not them, the problem is your BPD. Change that, address that, or work on that, right? BPD is one of the worst conditions we can have, and I know this because I suffered from it myself. I destroyed every single relationship that I had for many decades until only not long ago. So yeah, address the BPD. Work on your BPD. Don't try to have some band-aid to try to keep things together. No, go to the root of the problem. When you say, I feel that he's not ready for a serious relationship, maybe he's not. And you can't blame him for that. People are people. People do what they want, Maybe you are telling him, I only want to see you if it's serious, and he's telling you that. But maybe he's telling you that because he's got his own issues. We all have a baggage. We all do and say things depending on what is going to soothe our nervous system in this moment. And so that's why I'm saying the best thing what you really want to do is to focus on addressing the biggest triggers related to your BPD that are creating problems for you now. Etnas, your videos gave me the feeling of normality every single day. Thank you so much. So I don't watch only crap on YouTube. Like, short after short, and boom. You're saying, no, and boom, you. Let me try to read it again. Your videos give me the feeling of normality every single day. So I don't watch only crap on YouTube. Like, short after short, and boom, you. Saying it's okay to feel what I feel. I'm ADHD, by the way. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm happy with this. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. To throw a little bit of positivity and clarity into that chaotic and confused world. Okay, guys, I've been here for, wow, nearly 2.5 hours. Let me check one thing. How time flies when we're having fun. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to go slowly, unless you have a question to ask me, in which case I will answer the question. Omnam, I agree with you, but he leaves me on read for multiple hours to 2 or 3 days. I can't even hold a conversation or make a meet-up unless it's his initiative, because he knows, he feels at certain level that he can do that to you and get away with it. And because you have BPD, you know that you can't not do that. You either do it reluctantly, or you will burst out in anger and rage. And so this is your BPD that you want to address, right? The way that we are is going to attract some people who are going to be with us because of the way that we are, because it fits the narrative that they have about themselves in their reality. Ednas, but question what to do if I'm in my hyperactivity time, doing a lot for a few days, and after I'm very, very tired, burned out, how to cope with it. You want to create a system. You want to find out what is important to you. You want, so what do you mean by, when we have ADHD, you can be hyper-focused on the things that you love. If you are burned out by doing the things that you love, then create systems to make sure that you can regenerate whenever you can. Give me more. I'm a bit confused about your question here. But essentially, with ADHD, we don't suffer from enjoying what we do. We suffer because we can't find the focus and energy to do the things that we don't want to do. Right? And we get burned out because we're forcing ourselves. For some of us, we can create some sort of system that can hard work, and that is exhausting. But if you love what you do, it's a good thing, right? I, for instance, I hyper focus on what I do. I never get burned out. If I get burned out, it's not because I'm doing what I'm doing. It's because I forgot to sleep. And that is that'll be something that I will have to address by setting myself some reminders, some alarm clock, some limits. So it's saying, okay, now it's time for me to do something else, and just do it when my clock tells me to do it. But yes, tell me more about this, please. In which way is it a problem? How to cope with that? With what? Is this normal? So it's not normal. I mean, it's normal in the sense that there's no normal, right? There are all sort of people doing all sorts of different things for all sorts of different reasons. But I mean, when you ask, is it normal? It means, is it a good thing? No, it's not. It's not nice for you. It's not nice for your partner either. You are creating a very wobbly, unhappy situation for the both of you. And so, back to square one, address your BPD. I also feel like he's trying to take it slow in order to not hurt my feelings or get me to slow down too sometimes. It may be true. It may be true. It may be true. Caroline, I work with myself on my journey, and that fills my cup. If I would be in a relationship with the person I would be in a relationship with a trauma and journey, will they be put on me? It depends. I don't know. It depends. It depends on people. It depends on you. It depends on luck, destiny. It depends on so many things. I think, generally speaking, listen to how you feel. If you feel that you want to be with someone, regardless of where you are in your journey, go for it. Because you may actually find healing through your relationships, right? By learning about yourself as you're going through romantic relationships with people. You may find also someone with whom you can heal together, like I've done with myself, with my husband. We're healing together. Or you may not. But there's something, there's no right or wrong. There's only how you feel is more important for you in this moment. If you feel that you really want to have a relationship, but your head is thinking, don't do this because of X, Y, Z, tell your head to shut the F up and go for it and see what happens. You're not made of glass. You're here to learn and grow from all experiences, including those experiences. Follow your emotions, follow your heart, follow your intuition, and do what it tells you to do, and see what happens when they're at the time. That's it. So yeah, I hope it answers your question. Regardless of your circumstances, listen to intuition and go in the arena and live your adventure and see what happens. Edna's, ha ha ha. Okay, something I said made you laugh. Caroline, will I have to work on the person, trauma, and journey? I would be in a relationship as well as my own. You're overthinking it already. You're thinking already, but I need things to be perfect. I need to calculate my risk assessment. Is it worth of me doing this if I've calculated? It depends, I don't know. No one knows. You don't even know. No one can answer for you because we don't know. You will know if and when you get there. So it doesn't matter what happens. What matters is how you feel and what feels right for you to do in this moment. That's it. And when you are faced with the situation, then you can decide, I can take this on board, or it's too much for me. F it, I'm gone. It's no problem. If you can't do it, you don't do it. You will know then. Learn how to trust yourself, learn how to trust the universe, and you will always be able to deal with whatever happens to you in the moment as it unfolds. As opposed to constantly needing for things to be prepared, to be precise, to be exact, to be as you wished. Learn how to surrender. So that would actually be a very good advice for all of us in terms of healing and development. Learn how to surrender. Sometimes we can influence the events of things. Sometimes we can prepare ourselves for it. But more often than not, we want to surrender and allow for the universe to do its job and see what happens. Omnum. I think what I'm trying to say is I don't know if he's disrespectful of, if he's just overwhelmed, and I read it as such because of BPD. It can be so many things. Everything is possible. It could be this, it could be that, it could be something else, it could be all those things together. The main thing is, why is it important? It's important because you have BPD and you need to understand. So that's my point. Get rid of the BPD triggers so that you don't get caught into those traps anymore. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What matters is how you feel and what you create in your life. We don't need to understand everyone and everyone. So sometimes it has a place and time when it comes to healing, but we don't need to understand everything. When it comes to BPD, we do overthink. We do overanalyze. We need to understand everything. And this is actually part of the disease. It's part of the problem. That's why I'm saying focus on addressing your BPD and let go of this. It doesn't matter. But again, obviously, until you do that, whatever I say will not make sense to you. Or you will resist it, and it's normal. It's not your fault. It's the BPD. But anything that you said may be true or more. Right. Omnum, I genuinely can't tell because, yeah, I get you. I can't either. Ednas, for example, I have many projects I love to do, but there's a moment when I finish all and I feel super tired then, but still want to do more. I just can't. Okay, okay, I get it. So we talk about perfectionism, like my brain doesn't want to focus anymore. So at some point, when you get to that point, what you mentioned, that you're able to have an awareness of, I feel that I'm super tired. So you said, but there is a moment when I finish all, so you know I finish all, and I'm super tired. In that moment, change your thought from I must do better to let's be satisfied. Let's learn how to be satisfied with what I've done now. Tell yourself what I've done is enough. I'm going to have a break. I will come back to it stronger. Now it's time for me to give my mind a break and do something totally different that will relax my mind. And that will help you create some sort of balance. You want to change the belief that you must do things that are perfect. It's not enough. It's going to be better. Change that. Learn how to accept and to learn how to appreciate. Learn how to be satisfied with what you've done. Remind yourself, I've got ADHD, so I hyperfocus. So what does that mean? Whatever I do is better quality than most people anyway. If only by virtue of that, because I can hyperfocus. And so I'm going to remind myself that I can leave some on the table. So the system that I use, I do this like that. I call it the 90% system. And basically, get to that point, and I want you to choose intentionally and deliberately to leave 10% on the table. I know that project could always be better, but I'm choosing deliberately to leave 10% off. And I'm choosing to be satisfied by it. And eventually, as you work on that, you can actually be, you know what, I'm interested. Oh, it's going to be a bit icky, but I'm interested. And then the next moment, you're going to realize, gosh, it's actually okay. I'm feeling so much better because I don't need to spend another 10 hours doing this anymore. This is freedom, if you can get your head around this, right? Learn how to deliberately leave 5 or 10% on the table and develop that through repetition, so that eventually you can be satisfied with less. No, remind yourself that whatever that you do, if you keep working on something, it will always get better anyway. When do you stop? It's got to stop. You can say, okay, if I work on it for another 5 minutes, it's going to be better. But if I work on it for an hour, it's going to be even better. But if I work on it another 10 hours, if I work on it another week, if I spend another month on it, if I spend another 10 years on it, it's going to be even better. It's endless. It will always get better. And so you might as well choose when you put an end to it. Otherwise, that's how you burn out. Perfectionism, you forget that you have a limited amount of energy. You need to rest and recover. And so choose to deliberately leave 10% off the table and learn how to be satisfied. Just observe. I'm not going to do anything. I look at my thing. This is what I've done. I'm going to be satisfied. And then do some breathing, do something else, get back to it. And when you get back to it, you're going to realize, you know what? It was good enough. It was always good enough. It was always more than good enough. Because you have ADHD, there's an element of perfectionism, and you're learning how to tame it by doing this. I hope it helps. Azrael, handsome man. Oh, thank you very much, Azrael. My ego thanks you. Lynn, thank you, Didi. I know you're right, it's my brother's problem, but I guess I'm a fixer, always wanting to help, etc. So this is what, change this. I'm a fixer. As long as you believe I am a fixer, I am a healing, I am responsible of other people's happiness, I am in charge of their happiness, you will create that suffering for yourself because you believe that you are a fixer. Stop believing this. Stop believing this. If it doesn't serve you, you don't need to believe that you're a fixer. You can be anything that you want, right? Or you can say, I'm a fixer and I'm going to fix myself. How about that? It's a good way to turn it around. You can still be a fixer, but who do you want to fix first? Yourself. Everything starts from the inside out. And so you cannot give but you don't have. Fix yourself. And as you fix yourself, you may be able at some point to fix your brother. Think about it. In a long period of time. Maybe. You never know. Always wanting to help, etc., but have to accept I will never know why he's like that and I can't fix it. So I just answered it. Maybe you can. Fix yourself. Change your belief. Either choose to not believe that you're a fixer anymore, or choose to believe that you are the fixer of yourself. Right? Jenny D, absolutely right. Work on your BPD because the volatility has a tendency to sabotage a lot of relationships. Yes, the problem with BPD is relationships. BPD is toxic to all relationships. That's it. It's very simple. Now there's more to this than that, but essentially, if we could explain what problem BPD brings, relationships and depression and anger and anxiety as a result of that, and self-hatred. Manu Universe. So describe the socialization. What do you mean by describe the socialization? I can go on Google and read a definition for you. Socialization. Socialization is the process by which individuals learn the norms, values, and behaviors of a society. So this is not the same thing as socializing, right? Socialization is to learn how society functions. Socializing is connecting with people and feeling that we belong to a tribe. So that's a different conversation. Manu Universe, listen. Vesperer, I feel guilt for having due to past experiences and I can work on letting that go, but then asked, why do I deserve any good? Then I thought, why not? I think about my brother and how I'd be leaving him behind, but maybe the best way I can help him and others is just by being myself. So I'm not sure what to do with that. I understand you have a lot of belief that are creating a lot of internal conflict. Give me one question, one problem, please, so that I can answer you. Give me a bullet point question. And with that in mind, I can maybe hopefully help you out with. S, big respect to you, Didi. Thank you, S. Omnum, would you say chilling out and focusing on myself and let time show how the relationship develops is the way to go? Omnum, were you the one with potential BPD? Chilling out, well, I'm not sure in which context. Chilling, focusing on yourself is always good, as in working on yourself, raising your level of self-awareness. Chilling out is good, as in being kind to yourself. Let time show. Time in itself would not be enough. If you have the right attitude and you seek to learn more about yourself, then time will be good. Right? But in that instance, again, if you have BPD, then the relationship will not develop naturally in a good way because you have BPD. So it doesn't mean that you can't have a relationship, but it's going to be tumultuous, to say the least. Right? For some people, they can have a relationship like that for years. It depends with whom you are. Everything is possible. You can be with someone that can help you also heal together. You know, it happens. But yeah, we don't know. All I can say is that we don't know, and the only one thing that I know is that you must work on your BPD no matter what happens. And regards to relationship, see what happens, one day at a time. Learn from it, grow from it. Just G86. I enjoy your very calm and logical approach to mental health. Keep up the great work, Didi. Bicep flex. Thank you. Just G. Edna, big respect. I needed to hear that. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Edna. Azrael, well, I do have a question. How do you best find a working relationship for education purpose with a child with odd? I believe there's more to come. How do you don't find a working relationship. If you want to have a good relationship with other people, you must find a way to have a good relationship with yourself. But we've got something else. With a child with odd disorder, with oppositional defiance disorder. Okay, if your child has oppositional defiance disorder, okay, so you're asking me, how can I find a relationship if my child has got ODD? You learn how to accept that this is you and your child. Your child is like that. Your child has some specific needs. And you must show patience, compassion, and empathy because you understand your child. So first you need to work so much that you don't get any problems from the ODD. It's absolutely possible. I've got ODD myself. But if you understand the mechanisms behind it, it's easy to navigate through it without having clashes with your child. So first, learn that. And once you have learned that, you can teach that to your potential partners so that they can understand how to deal with you and that child instead of reacting to it and instead of creating clashes. That's how you do it. First, make sure that you have a good communication with your child so that there's no longer any clash. It's absolutely possible to do that. Number two, teach that to any potential romantic partners. Is that what you mean? Is that what you wanted to ask as well? Lynn, you're spot on. I did lots of self-reflection on why I left. I had to be the fixer of everyone's problems, and it was because it was the only way I felt worthy. I don't think like that now. Okay, so you don't think like that, but you still feel like that. And that's why you're still struggling when you think about your brother. And so bring your new thought to your new belief. Find a way to accept it emotionally, right? Through meditation, through self-introspection work, and basically remind yourself, I used to believe that, I don't believe anymore. Remind yourself from that part of your mind to that part of your mind that you don't need to believe that you have to fix the world. You don't need to believe that you are responsible for all the bad things around you. You don't need to believe that you're in charge of other people's happiness. And as you do that again and again, you will start to install the new belief about yourself. Remind yourself that everything can stay in place and time exactly where it is. And you can enjoy your little part of the world that is peaceful and calm and nice. As well, it's more than an education provision, it's more from an education provision standpoint. Okay, so let's talk about it. As sometimes simple task demands seems overwhelming and lead to conflict, despite providing a calm environment, scaffolding, and support. Okay. So when it comes to ODD, it's the difference between emotional energy and the task. There's a way to ask things. If you ask something, even if it's calm, if your energy, you have to become very good at it. It's like a game. You need to understand your emotional energy, your tone of voice, and how you're going to say things so that it doesn't come like an oppression that the child must protect itself from. Let me try to read it again. Sometimes a simple task demand seems overwhelming. Accept that sometimes also he will not go along with it. So this is acceptance from you. Accept, instead of saying, why don't you do the bins? So the things that we will teach is, when you're ready, do you think that it'd be okay for you to do the bins in your own time? Right? But if he still cannot do it, accept it. Maybe there's something else for you to learn about it, and you will find it in due time. But we want to let go of any tension, any stress, any pushing, any resistance. We need to let go of that. So we develop a relationship so that eventually that child understands more and more by virtue of repetition that they can chill and relax with you, they're safe with you, they don't interact to your demands. It will help in that aspect. But essentially, the first rule of thumb is to dissociate your emotional energy from what you say, and also seeing things in a way that is giving them freedom of choice. It's your bedroom in your own time, that'd be nice if you can do something about it when you feel like that, and then if they have some freedom, they may be able to choose the right time for them to do this. But there's an element of acceptance that they may still not do it. Accept it, and then just ask them, maybe have a discussion. Is it something that I said? I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I don't want to be pushy like that, but could you explain to me why? But in a very, very, in a genuinely peaceful place. Not, why again? What's wrong with you? Be aware of your energy, because children capture our emotional state all the time, and this is more important than whatever we say. So I don't know, does this help? Lynn, I learned to say no when it doesn't serve me without worrying about hurting others and letting them down. Okay, good on you, Lynn. Yes, no. For some of us, it's the hardest word to say. And it's just yet such a powerful, but also such a simple word. No is the first concept that we learn as a baby. Omnom. Yes, BPD here with chilling out. Try to not take it personally, jump to conclusion. I'm relatively self-aware, and I've been working on myself and cultivating healthy relationships. Okay, so by chilling out, you mean being mindful of yourself, so good on you. If you have a system like that, keep working on it and keep doing it. Good on you. All good. Sounds good to me. Omnom. With time, see if we get to more communication, compatibility when our chaos quiets down, respectively, and if I'm stable enough for healthy relationships. Basically, see how it goes and decide about his place in my life in a later time when we get to know each other better too. So this is the thing. So I'm starting to understand what you mean. You don't need to decide anything. just learn how to take it one moment at a time. And I know that at this point in time, it's not going to be something that you may accept, but that person is just a person. There are plenty of people in the world, right? And so do your best to remind yourself that what matters is not that person. What matters is the moment that you share together, the experience that you're going to share together, the lessons that you're going to learn from that experience with that person. So what matters is how you grow from your relationships, as opposed to owning the fake idea that we own people and we can decide the fate as far as our relationship is concerned. We're all here to experience our life. And so just take it one day at a time and do your best to make the most out of it, but accept that that person may not last forever. Accept that relationship, most relationships are not designed to last forever. The vast majority of relationships don't last. It's exceptional when they last. Right? There's always going to be something that separates two people. Either one of them doesn't like the other one or something else happened, or an accident. One of them can be unalived and they're alive. So there's going to be a separation at some point. And so it's very rare when you find someone and you spend your life with and you die at the same time. Right? And so what it means is that we need to get our head around the fact that relationships, for the vast majority of them, are not meant to last forever. They're experiences to teach us how to be more human, to connect with more people, to find out more about ourselves, to learn more about connection, love, about forgiveness, about all those things. And we create memories, and they're great. But if you can change that attitude towards relationships altogether, that could be very, very beneficial to, over a long period of time, to your fear of abandonment. You are not alone. There are millions of people. You can connect with anyone and everyone. You don't depend, you don't rely on just one person. Azrael, thank you. From what I understood, I should allow them to build more of a rapport with me. Yes. And plan for alternative options. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Very well phrased together. Azrael, sounds like a long rapport building stretch might be required. And like you said, understanding that there will be limits to compliance. Yes, thank you. Yes, we don't want to force things. We want to do our best with what we have and learn how to readjust, recalibrate, bounce back on things as we go along the way. Michelle, how do narcissists heal themselves? Some of them do. So it's a journey. So it's different for everyone. But the first step to healing, regardless of whatever we suffer from, is a level of self-awareness. We can't heal something that we are ignoring. We can't heal something that we are denying. And so if we have an awareness that there's something, this is the start. Now the road is going to be different for everyone. But yes, a lot of self-reflection, inner work, therapy, a lot of, it's working on our inner selves. And learning how to observe ourselves from the outside, as opposed to learning to just experience things from our standpoint, from the ego's point of view. And so with narcissists, I believe that it's possible to heal. Now, I also understand that for the vast majority of them, it's not going to happen because the condition itself is going to prevent them from realizing that there's anything wrong about them. Right? This is the condition. I'm perfect. It's always because of others. And so because of that, they will not be able to even have that start, that self-awareness. However, I know that some do because I follow some on TikTok and I've been following for a long time and I understand what they say and I feel that they are true. I can see them going through their journey and I can see how narcissistic people can, some of them, especially now that there's more awareness about mental health, can absolutely change. Some of them. We don't want to put everyone in the same bag, that's what I'm trying to say. Omnum, exactly what you said is what I'm learning to do. Okay, letting go of the feeling of ownership, expectations, and enjoy the ride. Fantastic. Thank you, Omnum. This is very, very good. If you can have that sort of awareness, you are doing well. Keep going, keep growing, keep expanding, and you will always have ups and downs, as we all do. But hopefully, the journey will go that way, ups and downs in the better direction. Michelle Kelly, thank you. Thank you. Is it because you know someone who's narcissist? Or do you believe that you may be a narcissist yourself? Which one is it? I'm realizing I'm being here almost 3 hours. Shoot. Gosh. I'm happy to stay up till 9 o'clock, another 7 minutes. Jenny, do people with avoidant attachment issues sometimes exhibit narcissistic tendencies? Yes, there could be some. Yes, if you're a narcissist, you could be displaying someone who is aloof to keep their grip on someone's need to be with someone. So if they feel that you are insecure, that you're needy, that you have BPD, then they will absolutely play on that by being aloof. It's possible, but again, it could be also a lot of other things. We don't want to try to oversimplify things and think if this happens, it means that. More often than not, something happens because of that, all of those things at the same time. So it's never just this or that. And also very often, a correlation is not a causation either. But in that case, it could be a possibility, yes. Omnam, thank you for the supportive words you made my day. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Omnam. It's not easy to navigate through life when we have a condition like BPD, indeed. But we all have a different start in life, a different set of baggage and wounds to deal with. And so it's the same journey for all in the sense that we can all get better. And we never chose our past either. So basically the most important thing is to remind ourselves to be kind to ourselves, no matter what we go through. Omnam, to narcissism topic. What about narcissists who are self-aware but refuse to change? If they are self-aware, they cannot refuse to change. If you're aware, you know that there's something. So they may be aware that it depends the level of awareness, right? They may understand, they may collectively recognize that they have narcissism, but the belief is going to be, but it's okay to be narcissistic. This is who I am, and I'm still better than everyone else with my narcissism. And so, in that sense, they don't have the self-awareness that we're talking about when it comes to healing. The healing comes from realizing that there's something you want to change about yourself. That's the self-awareness I'm talking about. It's like some people who say, I don't have any mental health. I need to be stronger, harder, or whatever. This is not self-awareness. They can talk and think about the subject, but they don't believe that they have to change. Or maybe there could be a space where they are in between. They are starting to realize, there's something about me, but they don't know yet how to go on about it. They're scared. They have no one to help them, to advise them. And so there could be maybe a sort of limbo state where people are at. But I believe that when we're there, we're about to change. Does it answer your question, Omnam? Generally speaking, whatever that we have, we experience it from the inside out. So this is who we are. And when we know about something, let's say if I'm being diagnosed with something, then the first hit is going to be there. But because someone has told us an information about ourselves, doesn't mean that we're ready to accept it emotionally. Right? It can stay a thought, not a belief. And so a lot of people maybe have been told, I don't know, you have a cancer, so you know depression. But they're going to say, no, I don't care. I don't want to believe you. And so they haven't accepted yet. I don't know if it's a good example, but essentially, we can know something and not believe it. So what we want to do is to bring what we know to the believing, to the accepting, to the feeling of it. Anyway, Azrael, one last question from me. I see you're a therapist, and whilst I don't require therapy at the moment, do you also provide your services to consult your expertise for a creative project? Yes, sure. Yes, I'm open to a sort of collaboration. So I offer my services online, on Zoom. But also, I do a lot of work. I do some content. I do some live. I work on books. And I'm open to work with other people if or energy aligned. People who say, I know I'm egoistic or I can be an asshole sometimes, but they don't make the effort to change, but they know. So it's different. Sometimes we know something, but we can't help doing that thing because there's a part of us that needs to do that thing. So when people are selfish, let's say egoistic, or being an asshole, in that moment, they don't think it. They don't think, I'm going to choose to be selfish. I'm going to choose to be an asshole. I'm going to choose to be egoistic. No, they're reacting as an impulse, emotional. And then the next moment, thinking, I can't believe it, I did it again. And this is typically what happens when we have, for instance, post conditions that we have. We react emotionally, and after that, we feel shame, we feel guilt, we feel dirty, horrible. Why? What's wrong with me? So it doesn't mean that we don't want to change. It means that they're not able yet because there's a part of them that gets them to do those things to protect them, to soothe their nervous system. Let's say, for instance, someone may be lying and say, I didn't mean to lie. And in that moment, what we don't realize is that maybe that person lied because it made them feel safe. Because they've been traumatized, and it's the system that they knew how to use in life to stay safe, to regulate their nervous system, to soothe themselves, essentially. So a lot of things that we do can be judged by society and frowned upon. Sorry, dry mouth. So let me try coffee. So a lot of things that we do can be perceived as such. But what we don't realize is that the majority of the things that we do, we don't choose to do those things. It's very rare when we stop, we're in a state of mental clarity and saying, I'm going to choose to do this. When we react, it's always an emotional reaction. And so it's our subconscious mind taking over. And so when people say, I know that I'm this and that, it's not that they don't want to change. It's that we cannot change in this moment because in that moment they are in a state of survival, they're reacting to the world around them, they are in a state of stress, in a state of high hyper arousal, and so they will do what they do. They'll be angry, they'll be selfish, they'll be greedy, they'll be whatever that you call them, but they just can't help. And after that, we think about it and we're thinking, oh gosh, I wished I would not do that. I used to do those sort of things all my life because of my conditions. I used to do all sort of things that I would regret tremendously the next days and feel terrible about myself. And reflecting back on it, now I know that I could not have done any other way. We like to believe that we have the fantasy. I should have, I could have, I would have, but we just can't. We just react the way that we react. But because we've been taught that there's such thing as a free will, people are doing it on purpose, out of their character, because they have poor moral and values, now we're going to judge others. Why are they doing this? Why are they not changing? And it's always wrong. It's untrue. They don't have the choice. If they work on themselves, after that, over a long period of time, they can change their behavior. It's possible. But in the moment, we just react the way that we react because that's all that we know. For a long time, very often, I used to be horrible to others, and I hated myself for that. But I could not have done anything otherwise because I didn't know how to do anything else but that. I hope it makes sense. And it's the same. You should know it. If you have BPD, you should know it very well. You know that there were a lot of time, a lot of instances where you judge yourself. Just 1 second, please. Alfie. Charlie, I'm checking on my dog. I have an old dog. So yes, I'm sure you've been in that position yourself. But if you are honest to yourself, you know that in many times you just couldn't do any otherwise. You couldn't hold that rage. You couldn't prevent yourself to have those negative thoughts about that person. And it's just a program that we have until we work on it and we change it over a period of time. Azrael, it has to do with psychology and issues around it, okay? Ednas, do you believe in cyclicality in life? Do you mean in cycles? I don't know. I believe in, there are some cycles that I believe in. just cycle, I'm thinking about it, maybe. It depends on the conversation. Everything is contextual, so it depends. If you think about the world and existence, I believe in cycles, as in the way the smallest phenomenon are occurring is the same as the biggest ones. If you look at the universe, if you look at an atom, it's all the same. So there's some sort of cycle, right? If you look at life and time, the seasons, and all those things, there are some sort of cycle. When you think about reincarnation, if you believe in Buddhism, there are some cycles. But I don't know what configuration you're looking at it from. Right? I believe also in cyclic trauma, generational cycles, right? I understand the term of cycle depending on some context, but I don't understand what context you are thinking about. Jaime Rodriguez, new to this channel. Hello, Jaime. I studied the TRT pedest. What do you recommend? What is the TRT pedest? I don't understand. Let me Google this. TRT pellets from the NHS. Hormone pellet therapy involves inserting small pellets under the skin to release hormones steadily over several months, commonly used to manage hormonal imbalance and symptoms like hot flushes and mood swings. Okay. I don't recommend anything. This is between you and the NHS. I don't believe in, it's not that I don't believe, I understand drugs. I understand that there's a place and a time for different individuals, different places in their lives, but it's not what I do. I address problems from the inside out. So I believe that we all own everything inside of us that we need to heal. We don't need to have external things. Now, it doesn't mean that some of us may not benefit from it. Some of us may use drugs and it can be very helpful. So I don't know where it is from. If you are going through a transition because of your gender, it's different. But if you're using it for mood regulation, for psychological, mental and emotional imbalances, then I wouldn't go in that route myself. Because I believe that there are a lot of other systems that can actually be drug-free and be better than that. Those never address anything mental and emotional. It addresses your biology. And so that's it. However, if you're going to through that, it's part of your work in regards to gender. That's a whole different conversation. I don't know much about it, and that could be good. Azrael, great. Would be good to know how much it would cost to read around 20,000 words and provide feedback. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. That'll be too much for me because I also have ADHD. And so for me, reading can be very, very demanding. I listen to audiobooks, right? If you want to do any work with me, we can talk about it. We can organize a call sometimes and have a conversation about it. But just based on that, how much it would cost to read 20,000 words and provide feedbacks? I don't know about this. Let's talk about it. If you want to organize a call, we can do this. Go on my website, there's a link on each of my videos, and we can organize this for a call, half an hour, and we see what happens. Okay? Ty, hi, from London, UK. Hello. I'm from London as well. I understand what you said can apply to BPD too and stress reactions from PTSD too. That totally makes sense. Thank you so much. Yes. And it's not just PTSD, CPTSD, or BPD. It's everything. We tend to judge people. And we should not judge anyone because there's always a reason as to why those things happen. There's always a reason, an explanation, an understanding of as to why we react emotionally. Everyone. But because we've been conditioned by religion, by society, by self-righteousness, to believe that some people are good, some people are bad, they're doing our purpose, then now we're judging everyone and we're not giving us a chance to understand them and to connect with them. And anyone who's got a condition understand that, right? How many people with ADHD have been called lazy or stupid? How many people with BPD have been called needy? How many people with bipolar have been called miserable? And so forth and so on. People don't understand that there's more to which than that. How many people with PTSD or CPTSD have been called triggered, Karens, easily offended? You know, there's a reason for everything. If we can understand, we don't need to judge. It doesn't mean that we don't want to keep ourselves safe from certain people or away from them. But if we can understand, we don't need to put everyone in bags and judge everyone, believing that we are good, that we are better than others. Because when we judge others, we're doing this for that. We only judge others to protect ourselves. I belong to the right kind of people. Everyone else is bad, or those are bad. If those are bad, it means that I'm good. And it's just not how you want to experience this life. There's so much more than division, separation, judgment, fear. Christine, hi, just hope you are having a great day today. I am indeed. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to go now. It's been 3 hours, gosh. I think it's the longest I've ever been. But I love it that it went so quick and I didn't even realize it. I'm going to say goodbye for now. I will come back next week. For those who don't know me, I'm a therapist and coach, and I do my best to come live and give some free advice to anyone who needs some help, both on YouTube and TikTok. So this week I only have been on TikTok once. Normally I do it twice. But this week was my birthday week, so I had to prioritize myself a little bit. But TikTok, twice a week in the evening, whenever my schedule and my energy level allows. And on TikTok, the live don't stay. Whereas on YouTube, I leave it there. And so every Saturday afternoon, up to this point, I've been doing it from 3 o'clock. Today was from 6 o'clock British summer time. So I'm not sure about next week what sort of time. Maybe 6 o'clock would be good. It seems to be quite busy. And so I'm not. The best way to do this is that if you want to join my next live on YouTube, check YouTube in the morning because I will schedule it the night before. So it will tell you whether I decide to start at 3, 5, 6, or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, okay? And hopefully you can join and we can continue the conversation. And if you have any friends, bring them along. And also, all the live videos that I do on YouTube, I leave them on my profile. And so you can always replay them and check all the answers that I've given you if you ask me anything, okay? Including that one, whenever it's ready. And so that's it. I put content on YouTube and TikTok 3 times a day. Please follow me. Thank you for supporting me. If you have any questions, write them down, ask me on my comment, come back. And in the meantime, I'm going to wish you all the best. Look after yourself, be kind to yourself. Let me read the last comments before I say goodbye. Om thanks again and a late happy birthday to you. Thank you. It was just yesterday. So, but thank you very much. I'm 55 now. Whatever that means. Gosh, guys, I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye. Be kind for yourself and hopefully I'll see you next week or sometime on TikTok.